ça va pas, non, c'est bon. Ok, good. Good, 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 good. Du coup, je vais regarder la deuxième. Parce qu'on avait regardé la week 1. C'était quand? La semaine dernière? Bah oui, la semaine dernière.
Watch Minecraft live now.
Real YouTube is got a new microphone. I've been using it for a little bit, but this is the first debut publicly because my videos take a long time to make. Okay, hello everybody. This is gonna come as a surprise, but I got a new microphone. Hello.
Il est bien son
It's
microphone.
now no longer in my face. Behold, my ability to control my arms. It has improved massively. This is week 2 of the Wolfie Draft League, and I'm going up against James.
Oh, il prend ça comme team.
We're scheduled to play in 15 minutes, so I thought I would give you a quick rundown of the team that I'm using here, as well as, if I have any extra time, talk about nothing. I'll start by talking about nothing because I think that's more important. Does anyone know why does anyone know why this won't charge? Behold, the buttons do nothing. There's no light or anything, you see? Like, it's super dead. But the thing is, as you can also see, it's plugged into my Switch. I want to preface this by, or I want to qualify
Mais il est mort,
this by
juste,
saying
non?
I haven't tried
Il
to
est pas
fix
juste
this
mort, le
problem
contrôleur?
myself. But if you know how to fix it, please let me know, because I haven't tried, and it will save me some time. Of course, the problem is this video comes out in 2 weeks from when I'm recording this, so... Nope, 3 weeks from when I'm recording this, so hopefully I figured it out by then. But let's be honest, I think we both know, probably not. Also, am I looking at the camera right now? I don't know, because I recently got like a teleprompter, basically, that goes over my camera to try and save my editors some time editing. They were taking a lot of time to edit out the microphone from shots, so I removed the microphone. Now, like, if I'm reading a script, I should be able to get another teleprompter if I figure it out. But the teleprompter means I don't know if I'm looking at the camera. I think I'm looking directly at you, the viewer. Hey, stop it. I saw that, Terrence. Okay. Anyway, you probably want to hear about the team that I'm bringing. You probably don't, but I probably should talk about it to give you some context. So, we're playing versus James. Let me actually do a little bit of just, a little bit of my, just like, do a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying?
La team, elle est vraiment différente par rapport à celle de la semaine dernière. Genre, il avait Glimlora, il avait Spatra. Est-ce qu'il avait Noivern? Il me semble qu'il avait Noivern.
That's not what I wanted to do. Oh man. Oh, interesting. It's controlling both. Okay, whatever. James's team, he has Annihilate. This is one of the biggest
Il avait pas Babosa, il avait Venonat, il avait Trevenant, il avait Arcana.
Whatever. Does this work?
Non, il a beaucoup changé là.
He has Annihilate. Very scary. The problem with Annihilate is that it can be beat up Rage Fist, but it also doesn't have to be. Its move pool is just like very, very diverse. Like if you look at the moves that it learns, like it gets Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, all the Ghost and Fighting moves, as well as a bunch of other random moves like Seed Bomb, Poison Jab, and Gunk Shot, Stomping and Tantrum, Rock Slide, like has supporting moves, has Taunt, has like Stealth Rock, like a bunch of weird things can do, Helping Hand, Earthquake, Stone Edge. Overheat, why does it get Overheat? I don't know. Outrage, like none of these moves are necessarily good versus me, but it's really hard Pokemon to predict. So yeah, anyway, and Annihilate was pretty scary. Alola Ninetales and Kilowattrel are quite fast. Kilowattrel especially is annoying because it's faster than my team minus Speedrus Spathra. It's like a 2 points faster, or 3 points faster than Noivern, which is really annoying. He also has Crocodile, which is his main beat-up user, and I think his only real way of easily boosting Rage Fist outside of
J'ai envie de voir le Mamoswine. J'aime bien Mamoswine.
Crocodile isn't like the biggest threat individually, but when paired with Annihilate, it can be pretty scary. Cinderace, good fast attacker, normally a physical attacker, gets Libero, which lets it change its type, basically a reskin of Protean, unless I'm missing a mechanic. Blastoise is annoying because it can be a Shell Smash Sweeper, or it can be a fake out.
La Shell Smash Blast? Ok, je savais pas.
Really annoying. Hydropple, just a great pick for 9 points. Really tanky, really annoying typing. Great, good move pool, good stats. Furt is a redirector for 4 points. It gets Follow Me and Helping Hand. It's the main reason to use it. Duosion actually has the same special attack stat as Reuniclus, so it's actually a pretty strong setter and attacker for 1 point. And then last but not least, Revavroom, who actually puts my team in trouble. Revavroom's steel and poison typing is actually pretty hard for me to hit, and he brought Revavroom in his week 1 match, and so he's like definitely not shying away from using it. So the Pokemon I expect are Annihilate, Alola Ninetales, Kilowattrel, Crocodile, Revavroom, and then probably Blastoise, but it could be Cinderace as well. I don't expect Hydropple, Furt, or Duosion. These are all like good Pokemon though, so they could come. Duosion especially is a wild card I didn't really think that much about. Anyway, my plan for this game is to try and get control of the speed of the battle. Noivern is my best way of doing that. With Focus Sash, I don't need to be as afraid of Alola Ninetales, though I probably should watch out for like Icicle Spear plus Tailwind, like a Kilowattrel Ninetales lead. His most obvious leads, in my opinion, are Kilowattrel Ninetales and Annihilate plus Crocodile. Those are kind of like the straightforward ones, but in draft, anything can happen. So I would say that this Noivern is like relatively straightforward. It's got like Protect, Tailwind, Draco Meteor, and Air Slash. It's 2 stab moves, Tailwind and Protect. EVs are
C'est
pretty
bizarre comme move
straightforward.
pool,
I
mais
don't
ok,
tend to
ça
fear it,
marche.
so I figured
Ça
I'd bring
marche.
Paranormal just to make him think twice about using Rage Fist into it. Terra Dark might have been better, but I thought, yeah, maybe Normal can like cheese something here and there. The intended lead with Noivern is Mamoswine. So Mamoswine is, I think, one of the first more interesting Pokemon on the team. I have Oblivious because Krookodile has Intimidate, and Choboberry.
Alors,
Choboberry
c'est
is
quoi?
probably
C'est
the
quoi?
worst item on this team, but the problem is that it's probably the worst item on this team. But the problem is that I will go down to a close Tailwind and Protect. EVs are pretty straightforward. I don't intend to fear it, so I figured I'd bring Terra Normal just to make
Influate?
him think twice about
Infuriate?
using Rage Fist into it. Terra Dark might have been better, but I thought, yeah, maybe Normal can like cheese something here and there. The intended lead with Noivern is Mamoswine. So Mamoswine is, I think, one of the first more interesting Pokemon on the team. I have Oblivious.
Le Pokémon ne peut pas être Infatuate. Ah, c'est Oblivious. Ou Taunt. Et immunisé contre intimidation. Ok, ok. C'est pas mal. Mais il a qui intimidation Il avait qui pour intimidation
And so I figured, yeah, like there also wasn't like a clear better item for Mamoswine on this team specifically. So, yeah. So basically, I decided to run Mamoswine here with Choboberry. I'm not running Icicle Crash because if you look at James's team, the main Pokemon at Icicle Crash are
Crocodile.
Crocodile, and Hydrapple.
Crocodile, il a intimidation.
The Focus Sash, so I don't feel like I need Crash for it. Hydrapple and Crocodile would be nice to hit them, but I felt like Heavy Slam was more important because you want to be able to one-shot Alolan Ninetales, who otherwise can cause trouble for Noivern and for Mamoswine because they don't have Thick Fat. I was thinking about like other abilities like Thick Fat plus Clear Amulet, but yeah, in the end I decided I didn't want to just lose to Close Combat Annihilate, so Choboberry it is.
C'est pas mal, pas mal, pas mal.
Point in being fast here, like basically I'm gonna outspeed things in Tailwind and I'm not gonna outspeed them otherwise. Like I can't keep up with like basically any of these Pokemon, and I'm already naturally faster than like these Pokemon.
Celui qui fait peur, c'est Aranzing. Sa team, elle est incroyable.
Rubber was pretty fast, so actually I don't think that really is relevant. It's basically just Blastoise, and so I figured better to invest in bulk. This means that I will probably survive a Giga Drain from the Hydrapple, and just is like generally like a nice spread of stats. With these two up front, the idea is Primarina. This is also a more standard set. We're getting to the weird stuff, okay? This is a pretty fast Primarina. It's actually level 50, so let's change that so you don't get confused. 100 speed allows it to outspeed Kilowattrel and Tailwind, which is his fastest Pokemon.
Okay.
Choice Scarfed. Liquid Voice allows it to have good stab moves, Life Orb. Like, Primarina is basically my best sweeper in the matchup. Because Fairy typing hits everything on the team except for Revavroom, and Water typing hits Wet Revavroom for neutral, and Crocodile and Cinderace for super effective damage. I think Primarina, if I can get into position, will be really good, but he's probably going to build his team around stopping Primarina from getting into
Ouais,
position.
c'est chaud.
I felt like I had to go
C'est
there
chaud
with
vraiment
Skill
pour
because not only does
qu'il
it
le mette en
like
place.
freeze dry, but
Il a
also
Kilo
it's weird,
Rattle,
like, poison moves from Revavroom,
il a
like
Revavroom
Grass
pour le
Moves
one
from
shot,
Hydrapple.
il a
So yeah, I feel
Hydrapple.
like Steel was a pretty good defensive Terra here. Also, like if the Annihilation
Ça peut être
whatever,
compliqué.
that's also helpful. So
Et Alola,
yeah, Primarina pretty straightforward. Now
comment il
we're
s'appelle
getting into the weird stuff.
Fenard
In the
d'Alola.
back of game 1, I
Il
intended
a,
to have this
comment ça
Spothra.
s'appelle
So game 1 I intended to do Noivern, Mamoswine, Primarina, and then a Spothra in the back.
Lifio...
As you can see, this
Comment
Spothra
c'est
is rather unorthodox. Actually, it's very unorthodox.
Lifiolisation là ou je sais pas quoi
This is the wrong
L'attaque
Instead of
glace
being
qui
speed
fait
boost, I'm
super
instead
efficace contre les
brisk,
typos.
and instead of being I don't know, anything that you might think would make
Un truc
sense,
comme ça,
I
je sais
am
pas.
minimum speed mental herb. And the idea here is that I want I want to set Trick Room up in this matchup because it's actually pretty good against James's fast team. But the thing is that Trevenant is weak to Annihilate, Alolan Ninetales, Kilowattrel, Crocodile, Cinderace. Like all of 5 of these Pokemon is weak to, and like Blastoise can run water moves, and it's not good into Revavroom either. So I was like, well, I don't want to bring Trevenant here. Speaking of Pokemon I'm not bringing, if you're wondering why no Arcanine, Annihilate has Defiant and Kilowattrel has Competitive, and so I didn't think that I could bring Intimidate here very easily, and like I thought about no Intimidate on the Arcanine, but it's basically just playing down an ability then. I thought about some other sets too, but they just didn't seem good. So yeah, anyway, a Spothra. So the idea here is that Spothra can help set Primarina up inside Trick Room, and Spothra, part of the reason Primarina is 100 base speed rather than a little bit slower, because it still could be slightly slower and outspeed Kilowattrel, but the thing is that inside Trick Room, I want to be able to Lumina Crash first, and then attack with Primarina, and I think that's quite a threatening duo. So there's nothing explicitly on James's team that's gonna have taunt, but I figured like Annihilate could have it and Crocodile could have it, and I didn't want this like whole arm of the strategy to get shut down if he had taunt, and so yeah, it's EV to be extremely defensive. This survives a knockoff from Crocodile as well as like a Phantom Force from Annihilate in case he's like Power Herb Phantom Force. I don't know. My one concern is that by running Frisk, I immediately
Ça va être chaud. Ça va être chaud parce que là, il est vraiment offensif, genre.
speed boost. When I
Avant,
go
il
for a
avait
mode where speed
Venonat et
boost
tout
is
pour être un
pretty
peu plus
high in the
défensif. Il avait
intimidation,
Arcana
I
pour
figured like the value
l'intimidation.
for me from Frisk is pretty high, and since this is so early
Là,
in the season, you might not expect
c'est
Trigger to be when he
vraiment...
does see Frisk.
S'il arrive à se
So
placer,
like it wasn't
il
like
gagne.
like
S'il arrive pas,
necessarily like
il est un
the
peu dans la merde,
most
non?
tricky
C'est
play I
ce
could
que je
do.
vois,
I
moi.
basically thought that the
C'est ce
information
que
of
je
me
vois.
getting
Je suis
two
pas
of his
sûr,
items was
mais c'est ce que je
worth
vois.
him getting access to my ability. He also would find out my ability after one turn anyway if I don't get a speed boost, because Opportunist is the only other option, so I felt like it was worth it. Then we have Hariyama. This Hariyama is it's the first time I brought it. I didn't bring it to week 1. Same with Mamoswine. So
Flame Orb? Ah oui, la guts.
to the squad here. Hariyama is intended to be like a more dedicated Trick Room sweeper, and it pairs well with a Spathra because you can go Fake Out plus Trick Room in the lead. So my modes here are Noivern,
C'est s'il joue Trick Room,
Spathra for like Tailwind front.
il a Hariyama pour le counter.
Spathra, Hariyama, Primarina, Noivern, or Mamoswine Noivern if I want it, for like Trick Room front Tailwind back. Third mode we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, Hariyama Fake Out helps set up Trick Room, close combat, most damaging move. I wanted Headlong Rush, and my Spathra has Helping Hand, because Helping Hand, Terra Ground, Headlong Rush super kills Annihilate, and Annihilate is a big problem for my team. And I felt like if he's going to run a defensive Terra, there was a good chance it wasn't one that, there's a good chance that it wasn't one that resists ground, because both Bug and Grass remain weak to flying, and I do have Noivern on the team, and I have Mamoswine, like, so, and Arcanine, so I figured, like, yeah, Grass and Bug aren't the most likely, especially because Grass, I think, is mostly for Venonat, which he could run Goggles or Taunt to get around. So I figured, yeah, like, he probably doesn't have a type that resists it. He could be flying as well, but it just seems kind of bad to me. I guess flying is okay. He could be flying. So Headlong Rush is here to get the Annihilate, ideally, and also I don't think he's going to expect it, hopefully. Close combat for damage, Fake Out for priority, and then Bullet Punch. And I know what you're thinking, like, okay, like, Bullet Punch maybe it's here for Alone with Ninetales, or, like, just to finish off Focus Sash, Kilowattrel, or whatever. And yes, Bullet Punch can do that. But where I really got creative here is with the last Pokemon, okay? So Glimora.
Non.
I was like, okay, like I knew I wanted these.
Il a Bullet Punch pour Glimora, genre... Comment ça s'appelle? Weakness Policy? Non.
Countered Venonat, and that felt kind of bad. And I was thinking, like, okay, well, what could Glimora do here? Like, I don't know, what's Glimora gonna do? And
Weakness Policy. Oh my god.
The idea is, the third mode of the team is you lead Hariyama Glimora, you go for Fake Out and Rock Polish turn 1, and then turn 2... Turn 2, you go side Bullet Punch with Flame Orb Guts active, by the way. So you're doing like half your health, okay? So you side Bullet Punch, you activate Toxic Debris, you activate Weakness Policy, maybe you Terra to Fairy, you're weak to Steel regardless. And then you launch Dazzling Gleam, and you say, God, I hope this works. This is a real risk. If he brings Revivroom, I cannot damage it. Like, it's immune to poison, and it quadruple resists Fairy. So, like, I don't know if this is gonna... I don't know if this is gonna work.
Je pense pas que ça marche, mais ça peut toujours... Ça peut toujours passer.
I didn't have a clear 6th Pokemon. Like, I could have brought Venonat. That was the other option, I felt like. But the thing about Venonat is that, like, while it can be good, it doesn't really, like, it only enhances the other modes. And I actually felt pretty good about the core 4 of Noivern, Mamo, Primarina, Spathra, and then Haria, Spathra, Primarina, Noivern. And so I was like, okay, well, if I need another mode here, so I think in this mode it's probably Hariyama, Glimora, probably Noivern, Primarina. Like two, like, it's probably Primarina in the back unless Mamoswine looks better for some reason, but it's probably Primarina. And then either a Spathra for Trick Room or Noivern for Tailwind. Trick Room is generally better, but I would say that, like, Noivern is... It's easier to set Tailwind up than it is to set Trick Room up, and so, like, depending on how the battle is looking. I think in a perfect world, I win game 1, and then game 2, I switch to Hariyama Glimora and just be like... I'm just like, okay, well, like, if he doesn't expect this, and if I catch him off... Okay, he's not gonna expect it, because I don't even expect this.
Ça va être chaud, non mais ça va être chaud. S'il y arrive, par contre, c'est incroyable, mais ça... Je pense pas que ça fasse. C'est du jumpspec quand même. Même si, ouais, après il connaît pas les attaques. Donc il peut se faire avoir, mais... Je pense que c'est compliqué. C'est compliqué de vraiment faire quelque chose. Le mieux, ce serait... James Beck lead avec Revavroom. Il se fait one-shot par je sais pas quoi. Et après, derrière, par magie, il a les deux là. Et il peut juste... full spam.
I'm so bad at technology. Why am I so small? Oh, I guess I gotta change things. You want to see the new microphone, by the way? Oh, you can see it. Look, it's like it's right here in the top. I should be a little bit eager, right? Okay, say goodbye to the microphone. That's what it looks like. This is called a shotgun microphone. I think I actually do know why, but I don't know if I could explain it. Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Pokemon are all present. Yep, that's all of them.
Primeape.
That's correct. already did all checks. I'm just, you know, just doing one more. Life orb. Chill blueberry. Cool. Alrighty, chat. What else should I talk about? You ever have an experience where I went to a restaurant last week, like last Friday, which is a week ago from today, and it was a restaurant that I'd been on my list for like ages, like probably literally years. Like I'd heard everybody talking about it, but it was like in a different part of the city, and it was like it's an Indian place, and I love Indian food, so I was like, oh, like yeah, like for, you know, at some point we'll go. So my partner and I, we went last. Oh, James is ready. Am I connected to the internet? My partner and I, we went together last Friday, and we were like really excited because like Indian food was really good for like vegetarians, etc., etc. And then it was awful. And what was okay? It wasn't even that it tasted bad. It was actually worse.
Alors,
Which is that somehow it had no flavor. Like all this Indian food, like we had like dishes with cheese, and you would think that cheese is quite flavorful. You know what I mean?
pourtant, les restaurants indiens, c'est trop bon.
But it had no flavor.
C'est le
it was
feu.
Very disappointing. And I feel like this has happened a couple times where like restaurants that people are like, oh, this place is like incredible. You have to go here, like make an event out of it, whatever. And then we go and it's like actually not. It's just like not that good. But what I always tell myself is that I think maybe like I think what's most likely is that maybe some places are like much better at doing dishes with meat in them than dishes without meat, because that's the only explanation I can see, or that's the only thing that makes sense to me. No one can be
Pourtant,
found. Oh man.
Indiens, ils font beaucoup de plats sans viande. Normalement, c'est censé être bon.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Le cheese nana. Un bon cheese nan.
Let me make sure I'm all good to go. Gotta move this over here. Get my damage open. Close this out. Awesome.
Restaurant indien, c'est le fire. C'est le
Alright,
fire.
so we're jumping into it. That is weakness policy, right? Yeah, okay.
Ok, c'est y part.
I have my random music on. Okay, let me say good luck, have fun. So yeah, good luck, have fun to James. Excited to see what he cooked up. Good luck, have fun. Tara types at preview. Oh, he already sent them. Oh man, I gotta send them. Noivern, normal. Party. Round. Espathra. Dark.
Boom, 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 boom.
Prim.
Boom, boom, boom. Cricket.
What's it called? Glamora. Fairy. Okay, cool. Okay, he has Ninetales, Blastoise, Kilowattrel, Reverum. Okay, so he has the exact. It's gonna be Scarf Krook. Okay, he has the exact Pokemon that I expected, which is Alola Ninetales with Ground Terra. Okay, so he might have Discharge and Kilowattrel.
Ok.
Blastoise is Poison, so that's probably expensive.
Pourtant que Terra Poison.
Actually, that could be anything. Kilowattrel's actually Water, so that might not be Scarf then. Kilowattrel's Water, Revavroom is Water. I hate Revavroom. Krook is Ghost, so that implies that it's Scarf. Revavroom Water, and Ape is Ice. Okay, so it's gonna get the defense
Okay.
in the snow. Okay, cool.
Ok. Allez, c'est parti. Putain, par contre, la team de James Beck, elle fait peur. Elle fait peur.
Espathra Prim, I think. I'm pretty sure looking at this, that Krook is going to be Scarf. Maybe I should have him Life Orb Mamoswine so that I could one-shot the Kilowattrel, but I just didn't want to take the recoil, the chip damage. I think the Blastoise and the Revavroom could both cause me some problems here if I'm not careful, so I do have to watch out for that. But I think that overall, this makes sense to me. Yeah, let's give it a shot. I gotta really watch out for the ape here. I might be under prepped for Annihilate. Okay, let's give it a shot. I kind of expect not Crocodile Ape game 1. I think like Kilowattrel, Ninetales, or Blastoise Kilowattrel might make sense to me. I think Kilowattrel plus Blastoise would be somewhat annoying.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à faire? Comment ça va se passer?
So I get some info right away. Let's see here. Ninetales Annihilate. Okay, overall this is actually a pretty good lead. Let's find out the
Ok, ça c'est un truc basique. Est-ce que...
here.
Attends, il va y avoir la grêle. Il peut faire Blizzard et one-shot Noivern, non?
Ninetales. Okay, cool. And leftovers 8. So Ninetales... Wait, Ninetales is a thatch. Okay. kind of just like protect plus heavy slam here. The Annihilate could bulk up, which is a little annoying. This delays my Tailwind by 1 turn, but because I have the Chovelberry, I'm actually not...
Je pense là il sait que Wolf il va attaquer le Ninetales. Je pense qu'il va protect. Après il est beaucoup plus tanky sous la grêle donc.
So I like protect plus heavy slam here, I think. Let's see. You could predict both as well. He goes for Icy Wind. Okay, so Ninetales says Icy Wind. And he hits my Mamoswine. It does a lot of damage. 37 damage, it's a lot. He goes for Drain Punch, so I don't regret my play here, I think. 170 down to 94.
Oh, crit.
Oh, man! I think I would have taken 2 if it weren't for the crit, because of the snow.
Ok, là, la sache. Il est pas mal en vrai, il est pas mal.
Cool. Okay, so now Ice Shard plus Tailwind feels pretty free. I don't even need to Ice Shard. Oh, I do need to Ice Shard because I'm -1 speed. Yeah, Tailwind plus Ice Shard seems pretty good to me. Leftovers Ape is a bit scary. I do have access to...
Là, je pense qu'il va protect, non? Il va essayer de garder le plus longtemps son Ninetales, ou il va le suicider.
Here, but I think I do want, I think the Crocodile probably has the Scarf, so I think I just want to get this up right away. The Tailwind, like last game, I lost game 1 because I didn't prioritize being Tailwind up.
Qu'est-ce qu'il peut faire? Là, il peut soit switch Ninetales pour essayer de le garder, pour essayer de garder la grêle, mais vu qu'il a dit qu'avant les Terra, le seul vraiment qui peut utiliser la grêle, c'est Primate? Non, pas Primate, Annihilate. Du coup, je pense, ouais, le mieux c'est de le laisser mourir, quand même. Drain Punch encore.
Okay, so it's not ideal. It's certainly not ideal, but it's also not the end of the world here. What's coming in here? I definitely go into to Primarina here. I've got my Tailwind up. I don't want to get Trick Room up just yet. I would have liked... Yeah, it's not ideal. The problem is that I might lose my Tailwind. I might lose my Primarina before my Tailwind expires, which is quite bad. However, getting Tailwind up is pretty nice, and I think like trading 1 for 1 is honestly fine here. Is it Revavroom? I feel like it's going to be Revavroom. Here's Primarina, okay. Looks like Primarina is going to be my Terra target this game, and it is Kilowattrel, okay. So, I don't hate Draco Meteor plus Gleam here. This could be Scarf on the Kilowattrel, which would be kind of bad.
Ooh.
Wait, the Kilowattrel doesn't have, like, Moonblast will KO is my thinking, so maybe I go for Air Slash here, and Gleam will not KO. Air Slash plus Moonblast seems somewhat realistic. The problem is if it's Scarf Kilowattrel.
Est-ce qu'il one-shot? Là, il va faire... Ah. Après, il a Tailwind, donc il est plus rapide. Faut qu'il one-shot. Oh.
Okay, it is 8, so I probably could have done this a little bit smarter. I get the flinch is the thing. Air Slash is kind of broken. Okay, it does nothing. Okay, it's not Scarf. It could be AV. Okay,
C'est one shot. Life Orb broken.
So good. Yeah!
Oh là là, la chatte. Oh la chatte.
I'm telling you, Air
Ah,
Slash
la
is not a
chatte.
balance move. The problem is what happens next, because if it's Revavroom in the back, which I suspect that it is.
C'est abusé. Pour l'instant, il joue parfaitement.
Okay, it is Revavroom. I was right about that.
Il en reste 2. Putain, il a pas Perish Song?
So, what do I do now?
Là, s'il avait Perish Song, ça aurait été free win.
I would like to Terra my Primarina here. I don't need Draco Meteor, Terra Steel, Moonblast. The thing is that, like, if I don't get damage on Revavroom, then I will lose it to, like, I will lose with it eventually, because I will lose to it eventually. But I still think that this is probably my best move. Draco Meteor plus Terra Fairy Moonblast. This should KO. Surely this KOs. Or Terra Steel Moonblast, sorry. Because I still have 2 turns of Tailwind left, so it's somewhat difficult for him to
Ouais, mais Revavroom, il va pas one-shot Primarina? Il a plus son Mamochon. Il a plus Mamochon, il a plus Mamochon. Donc pour Revavroom, il est un peu... Ah, mais Terra Steel. Ok. Ok, j'avais pas vu ça, j'avais pas vu.
I lose because of that. That sucks so much. I think without that I win the game. Yeah, I would have won. That is super unfortunate. A Rage Fist into Noivern? Okay, hang on. I still have a chance. They have 2 stacks of Rage Fist, and they Gunk Shot. Okay. It's looking bad, chat, but it's not over, because...
Il a plus de Tailwind, là.
I get the item on the Rever Room.
C'était 5 tours. Est-ce que ça fait 5 tours? 5 tours, Tailwind.
Yeah, I would have won otherwise. Here's a Spothra. So I get to frisk the items here. Citrus Berry, Rever Room, and we already know leftovers on the ape. Double frisk. Okay, so we go for Trick Room here and Dazzling Gleam. Or no, we can Hyper Voice, right? Hyper Voice is stronger. Surely Hyper Voice KOs, right? I should calc against the bulky Annihilate. Should be minimum 35% if he's super bulky. Moonblast. Yeah, I think this will KO. I think I kind of need the damage anyway.
Okay.
Last turn's Tailwind, right? I managed this correctly. Last turn to Tailwind, last turn to Snow. So we go for Trick Room and Hyper Voice here. Okay, it has Protect as the 3rd move. They both have Protect. Okay, great.
Non, il a free Trick Room.
And Trick Room goes up. Oh my god, this is Spothra really came in at the right time. Here's Trick Room, okay? So everything ends this turn, which
okay.
Is awesome.
Il est bien là, il est bien.
I'm like, oh, I have Helping Hand. Like, it does feel bad to reveal some of my moves here, but I think in the long run, it's probably for the best. This Tailwind ends this turn. I think I go for Helping Hand here and Hyper Voice. I would like to go for Lumina Crash, but I think it's more important to get the KO and the Annihilate. Helping Hand Hyper Voice is very, very good here. It's unlikely that Rever Room can KO me, but not impossible. I'm pretty sure that Spothra will 1v1 Rever Room if I KO Annihilate. So Helping Hand Hyper Voice seems like the best play here. Helping Hand and Hyper Voice. And actually here, even if he predicted Trick Room, there wasn't really much he could do to stop that play because of the way that things worked out. So this is kind of the strength of Tailwind plus Trick Room, but let's make sure we can close this out, because we haven't seen all the moves yet, which means this game is not over. We also don't know the speeds. We go for the double and fail it, that's great.
Okay.
Here's Hyper Voice, so Rever Room is in fact... Oh my god, that's strong. Okay. Hyper Voice does a lot. I think this thing must be fast. Here's Citrus. Okay, cool. Super cool. This Spothra really popped off. There's Parting Shot. Okay, cool. Reveals another move. Let's just go for another Helping Hand plus Hyper Voice here, I think. Because it will KO and I don't want to reveal more moves. So what did we learn? Gunk Shot, Protect, Parting Shot. Cool. It's probably pretty fast, I would say, based on the damage. I want to say that the Rev Room is probably decently fast. Am I recording? Thank goodness. The Rev Room is probably decently fast. The Annihilate seems to be pretty bulky. What I'm worried about here is Scarf Crocodile in the lead.
Okay.
I feel like I have to go for... I feel like I have to go for Glamora. Like, I think it's somewhat unlikely to work, to be honest. I think it's pretty unlikely that it works, just being blunt about it, but if it does work, it's so funny. So it's these two up front. I do think Primarina is the best third mon after seeing how much it does to Rever Room. And then the last mon is either Spothra or Noivern.
Okay.
I think it should be Noivern, because I think if things go wrong...
Attends, j'ai pas vu. Ok, non, non, ouais, il a gagné.
Don't reveal more moves.
Helping Hand, Hyper Voice.
So what did we learn? Gong shot, protect, parting shot. Cool.
Non, c'est bon, j'ai pas raté. J'ai pas raté.
And then the last one is either Spathra or Noivern.
Ok, c'est bon.
I think it should be Noivern. Because I think that if things go wrong, I might be able to win with an air slash flinch. Yeah, I think that if things go wrong, I may be able to win with an air slash flinch, but if they... Yeah, like I can't ever see a world really where... I can't ever really see a world where if things go wrong, I can win with Espathra. So I'll do this as like hedging. Looking at his team, I'm not even sure if this makes that much sense. What I'm doing... The thing is, I can't really beat Revaroom with this, but that's okay. I think I had to bang it Revaroom after how bad it was into Primarina with Steel Terra, because it's probably protect, parting shot, steel move, poison move.
Allez. Premier match, franchement. Bon, à part le Dracométéor qui miss, voilà quoi, et ça c'est pas trop de sa faute, mais franchement, par ça.
Right? It's good and bad. It's not good.
D'accord, il va shell smash instant le Torton.
And I don't know the item on this Blastoise, so I'm gonna fake out, and I think I'm gonna fake out Rock Polish, to be honest. Show me Protect from Ninetales. Show me a cheeky Protect.
Okay, good.
I think either the Blastoise protects, but I think more likely it probably goes for the fake out into the Hariyama.
Okay.
He switches.
What?
Oh, Annihilate! Please! Oh,
Rivavroom?
It's over! Wait, what's the Terra? Okay, fake us out Hariyama, that's actually for the best. And I go for Rock Polish. Okay, cool. I get +2. I get burned. Okay, Revaroom has Protect. Protect, Gunk Shot. Should I just go for it? Like, I want to kill the Revaroom, right?
Est-ce qu'il tue?
I don't think this does that much to Blastoise, who very well could be AV, right? I want to kill the Revaroom. If I get rid of the Revaroom, I can win the game. What's the Terra? It's Terra Water. The thing is, it's just so obvious that I want to go for, yeah, but I just hit a Rock Polish, right? So, he might be expecting Earth Power here. So I'm gonna Bullet Punch and Sludge Bomb. You know what? I'll just get the Toxic Spikes up. It's fine. I'll figure it out later. Okay, he switched. Ninetales? Should we Protect? Oh, no! I should have gleamed. Okay, he protected. Okay, show me a poison. Okay, so here's the thing. I get Bullet Punch off. I do half my health. Okay, I took it pretty well. Okay, Toxic Spikes go up. Okay, so now either Blastoise or Ninetales in the back are gonna get poisoned, and maybe both if Revaroom doesn't switch. And now I'm at +2 special attack, +2 speed. But I'm still kind of in some trouble, right? Okay, I give him one stack of Rage Fist, which is like certainly not good. But here's Sludge Bomb. It does a lot of damage. If I get the poison, I'm in good shape. Oh, I'm in good shape. Wait, that's in range of Terra Fairy Gleam now. Hold on.
Okay.
So I could go for Terra Fairy Gleam and Close Combat, but the problem is that, like, he's probably gonna go for. There's no way he doubles my Revaroom, right? Or my Hariyama here, and I don't think he can KO it without doubling it. I am more especially bulky, but like if you look at the position, I've got this really threatening Glimmora. The thing is, if I Spiky Shield and I get the KO, then Blastoise comes in and has Fake Out pressure again, right? So maybe I am supposed to just like Close Combat and Gleam and just accept that. Let's think about this from a macro perspective, right? Because if I get the Close Combat off here, I'm pretty sure Gleam will KO. Like, the thing is, let's say I Spiky Shield, I get this turn right, I KO Revaroom. The problem is that next turn, Blastoise comes back in. And if I get it wrong, I would lose Hariyama.
Je comprends rien à ce qui se passe là. Là, je sais pas ce qu'il peut faire.
I still have my Terra available.
Parce que son move qu'il voulait faire, ça s'est pas bien passé.
It's a little bit risky. Okay, if I get the Ape here, I'm in really good shape. Okay, I'm in really good shape. That's the end of Ape. Glimmora, not traditionally thought of as an Annihilate counter, but the thing is that Ape goes down, and now... He misses gunk shot.
Non.
Oh, he went after Hariyama.
Il n'a pas de chat, il n'a pas de chat.
Close combat comes out. He expected me to protect, but I didn't
Oh,
go
le
for
crit.
it, okay? And
Il
now,
a eu le crit.
that's the third turn of snow. Glamora is at +2/+2. It's looking a little bit difficult for him, I think. I take the burn damage, but that's fine, okay? I did not think this was gonna work, I'll be completely honest. And when I saw Rev Room come out, I was like, oh, it's toast. But that's the thing about Draft League, is you can catch
Il a eu le
everyone
crit
off
sur
guard, because
Toast Combo
by
aussi.
using
Hein.
sets you would never normally run,
Mais peut-être qu'il s'est tué quand même.
you're able to do stuff like this. Okay, I think the best move here for me is, like, this should be a guaranteed win as long as I'm careful. He hasn't Terra'd yet, so I need to keep that in mind. The Ninetales is Terra Ground, okay. So I would like to just go for Bullet Punch here. Like, I think it's worth saving both my Pokemon with full HP in the back, because I don't think that... I'll go Bullet Punch and Spiky Shield, I think. Although, like, the thing is, if I could just attack again, right?
Non, il a Shell Smash, hein. Il a Shell Smash.
Fake outs? No. I think I just Spiky Shield. I think it's fine if Hariyama doesn't get an attack off again.
Il va pas juste Shell Smash?
I don't need Hariyama to win this game. I just need to get rid of... oh, he doesn't protect, or he doesn't fake out. Maybe he might not have fake out. That did a lot. Oh, wait, I didn't confirm that he wasn't Shell Smash. Hold on, wait a second. But if he's Shell Smash, I should still be okay, right? Because I have Tailwind plus, what's it called in the back?
Ouais, mais si, il a bluff sur Tortank.
Okay, it is Muddy Water. Cool. Muddy Water, I should write that down. Hey, this Hariyama is so good. Yeah, this Hariyama is just popping off. I think differential could matter. I think one of the tiebreakers is differential, so I think it's actually technically slightly more optimal for me to try and save Amon here. Yeah, I think that one of the tiebreakers is differential.
Ah oui, il switch.
What's the Terra on Blastoise? Poison.
Ouais, parce que s'il fait Muddy Water, ça veut rien faire sur Primarina. Là, il tue. Là, il tue.
It's not Scarf on the Blastoise because it's slower than Ninetales. Like, I think at this point I should be playing for tiebreaker rather than trying to get the win, because I don't think he can win this with Sashnoi running the back and Blastoise poisoned. And if he Terras, he'll still remain poisoned, I'm pretty sure. I think that's how it works. Here's my Terra. This is, like, technically not... I think this is fine, honestly. If he doesn't Terra this turn, he's gonna take a ton of damage. Okay, he does Terra, nice. Or, like, nice call. Poison on the Blastoise. The thing is, I don't actually have moves to hit this with my Glamora, but the poison is still in effect, which is good. That's a sick-looking Terra. Here's Gleam.
+2,
Dazzling Gleam. +2/+2/+2, technically.
Ok, ça fait rien sur Blessage.
Ninetales. That should be the end of Snow as well, if I've counted correctly.
Et maintenant...
Water connects on both. Okay. No accuracy drops.
Il est empoisonné, il est dans le... Il est
pas
bien là, il est pas bien.
There's no way Terra Blast kills, right? He doesn't have a boosting item, probably. I'll go Hyper Voice Spiky Shield. Like, I probably could Protect. I mean, Gleam did a lot of damage. I think Protect into Sludge Bomb is fine. Protect Spiky. Surely Sludge Bomb KOs, right? But also surely I don't die to a Terra Blast. I mean, I am pretty frail. I'm just trying to think about how to get maximum differential here. Protect plus Spiky into Sludge Bomb is probably fine.
Ouais, tu le laisses juste un peu perdre un HP et après juste tu le finis quoi.
Yeah, the toxic spikes here that, like, part of the brilliance of Hariyama attacking into Glamora is that not only do I get the weakness policy active, but I also am able to set the toxic spikes.
Ah, je pensais que j'avais oublié de mettre le son, mais non ça.
He didn't want the toxic spikes up.
Ok, good.
But the thing is that by attacking myself, especially, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose, but I did attack. Oh no, I did attack once everyone was already on the field, yeah. Sludge Bomb. I was able to set up the toxic spikes regardless, and with Focus Sash on the Ninetales, it's really important to break that with the toxic spikes, and also with Blastoise being bulky, it was also, like, yeah, just so helpful here. Like, Poison has already done a ton of damage to this Blastoise. Yeah, Glamora was really good here. I wasn't entirely sure. I didn't really think it was gonna work unless I got kind of cheesy with it, but yeah, in the end.
Search for qui tue.
Did a good job. Okay,
Oh,
Glamora gets another KO.
2-0.
3 KOs for Glamora with a critical hit. So, yeah, very, very happy with that. I felt good
Eh
about
bah.
the prep, and
Je pense pas que ça allait être
yeah,
aussi...
I'm really curious to see what sets James had in all his Pokemon, because I was really worried about Crocodile and also the Kilowattrel, and they, yeah, like, were doing things
aussi facile pour lui.
probably that I wasn't expecting. So, good game to James.
Mais il l'a bien eu, il a fait des petits... Il a fait les techniques secrètes, et ça a marché. Hein. Bien joué à lui. Regardez celle-là. Je peux regarder la vidéo.
Pokemon get stronger when they evolve. That's like a core tenet of the entire franchise. After all, if evolving your Pokemon made them worse, then you wouldn't go through the trouble in the first place. But not all evolutions are created equal. And sometimes, the absolute garbage Pokemon you just spent an entire week trying to evolve simply wasn't worth the effort. Now obviously, not every Pokemon is supposed to be a big hit. Your Route 1 bug Pokemon shouldn't be as strong as your endgame dragon. I made an entire video breaking down why it's a good thing that some Pokemon are stronger than others, and how within a generation of Pokemon, it's good to have a whole wide spectrum of strength. But what I think is really interesting is when a Pokemon's evolution comes in a later generation, sometimes over a decade after the original Pokemon was introduced. Starting in Generation 2, Game Freak began introducing new evolutions to existing Pokemon lines, with a major wave coming in Generation 4. Now I can tell you as somebody who was a kid when Diamond and Pearl came out, these new evolutions were really cool. Pokemon that I thought were finished, having already reached their final forms, were suddenly bursting with new potential that I'd never even considered. And interestingly enough, it seemed like the Pokemon being given new evolutions were Pokemon not quite strong enough to keep up with competitive play at the time. Like, let's be honest, Roselia and Piloswine are not doing much against Garchomp and Cresselia. But not every Pokemon given a new chance at competitive viability was taken seriously. In fact, some of them appear to be a big joke to the big Pikachu pulling the strings. And it was one of these Pokemon that actually made me want to make a video about this in the first place.
C'est vrai que Pikachu c'est pas mieux que Raichu.
And Violet, the Dunsparce. The Dunsparce is the Generation 9 evolution to the Generation 2 Pokemon Dunsparce. Now, Dunsparce is something of a fan favorite within the community, in part because it's goofy looking, and I think also in part because it's just such a terrible Pokemon by competitive standards that it makes people love it. Terrible stats and bad typing combine to make a Pokemon that I can't even compare to a wet paper bag for fear of insulting the bag. But a beloved Pokemon with no viability is the perfect vessel for evolution. To use Dunsparce as a base, but improve it, fix its flaws, give it a fresh coat of paint and a new motor. Evolution is great because unlike regional variants and Mega Evolution, you aren't tied to the total stat points of the pre-evolution in any way when your Pokemon evolves. You want to just give it 100 more speed and, I don't know, 50 more attack? Go nuts, kid. Evolution is also an opportunity to modify typing. Dunsparce's popularity resulted in 20 years of fan art imagining what secret wonders it was hiding. Maybe a huge dragon type with sprawling wings putting the Salamances and Dragonites of the world to shame. But that isn't what we got. Instead, Game Freak left Dunsparce alone for 23 years, only to finally break out Dunsparce, a slightly longer Dunsparce. And you're probably thinking like, okay, but there has to be some kind of gimmick, right? Surely if they were going to make us wait for 2 decades, they'd be giving us a little more juice, right? And the thing is that, yes, the Dunsparce actually does have a signature gimmick. When you evolve your Dunsparce into Dunsparce, there is a 1 in 100 chance that your Dunsparce will be slightly longer. It'll have 1 more segment to be exact. And that's it. There's no functional difference between Dunsparce 2 segment and Dunsparce 3 segment. It's just a cosmetic difference.
Nice.
I guess you can differentiate them by calling the longer one Dunsparce. The Dunsparce is a pure normal type Pokemon with stats.
Ils ont même pas changé. C'est vrai qu'ils avaient même pas changé le type.
They gave it a signature move called Hyper Drill, which is in theory good because it ignores protecting moves. But the problem is that the Dunsparce isn't actually strong enough to pressure opponents to protect in the first place. Now, to be clear, Dunsparce is definitely more usable than Dunsparce. Like, you can use it, it just won't be very good. The main problem is that the stats just aren't good enough to keep up with the modern world, to be honest. Like, if you really wanted to use it, you could use, I don't know, it has the ability Serene Grace, which doubles the effect of secondary moves, and it gets the move Rock Slide, which, you know, has a high chance to flinch. But the Dunsparce is really slow. But it does learn Tailwind, so maybe you could do something with that, I don't know. It's not a very good strategy, but it is really frustrating to play against. So if you want to try and make your opponents turn their Switch 1 into a Switch 2 the traditional way, you could use it, I guess. Also, in case you weren't aware, you also have a 1 in 100 chance to get a 3-segment subscribe button if you subscribe on this video specifically. This also gives you a 100% chance of getting recommended other great videos in the future. It's actually not 100%. I don't know how YouTube's algorithm works. Sometimes it won't recommend videos, but you have a higher chance if you subscribe. Now, obviously, a lot of these cross-generation evolutions are a big success. Some of the other Generation 9 evolutions in particular have been amazing. In Scarlet and Violet's first 2 years, Farigiraf placed first and second at the World Championships, and Annihilate and King Gambit have both put up a ton of results too. But talking about Dunsparce really got me thinking, what other cross-generational evolutions have missed the mark? One that I was personally really disappointed by was Cleavor. Cleavor.
C'est fort ça?
Cleavor sounds like. Scizor is one of my favorite Pokemon.
Parce qu'ils ont tous les mêmes stats, c'est ça? C'est ça le truc avec Insicateur et Seahawks, c'est qu'ils ont tous les mêmes stats.
I actually used it to win US Nationals back in the day. And so when I heard that Scyther was getting a new evolution and that it was getting a signature move that could do something that no other Pokemon in the game could match, I was excited. However, when I finally tried Cleavor for myself, I was disappointed. Cleavor is a bug and rock type Pokemon. Can
déjà
I
le
just say,
type,
by the
c'est
way,
pas
that
ouf.
every time I say a line like that, I feel like the frickin' Pokédex. Cleavor is a bug and rock type Pokemon. Are you getting that, or is that just me? Anyway, bug and rock are two of the single worst types in the game. But surprisingly, when you put them together, it's actually not as bad as you might think. Bug cancels out 3 of rock's weaknesses to fighting grass and ground, and rock resists the flying and fire type moves that bug is weak to, resulting in only 3 weaknesses total, which is
C'est
pretty
pas
good.
si nul que
The
ça.
stats are pretty well distributed, but there is a problem. While Cleavor doesn't have any glaring weaknesses in its stats, it also doesn't really have any huge strengths. It's not blazingly fast, supremely strong, or absurdly tanky. It's a pretty well-rounded jack-of-all-trades. However, this isn't factoring in its ability Sharpness, which gives certain moves a massive power boost. Cleavor's unfortunate weakness lies in its signature move, Stone Axe. This
Stone
move
Axe.
should be ridiculous. It's a rock-type move that, when it hits a target, sets up Stealth Rocks on the opponent's side of the field. Stealth Rocks cause any Pokemon switching in on the opponent's side to take damage based on how weak to rock they are. They're normally not worth setting up because in the official competitive format, you only bring 4 Pokemon to any given match, and 2 of those Pokemon start out already on the field. So even if you get Stealth Rocks up turn 1, you might only ever damage 2 Pokemon with them before the end of the battle. Stealth Rocks normally can only be set up by using the move, well, Stealth Rocks, which doesn't do anything except set up Stealth Rocks. I'm never going to be able to say Stealth Rocks again after this. Now, of course, if there were a better way of setting them up, of course you would love to have them. Breaking Focus Ashes and dealing a quarter of Incineroar's health every time it switches in is great, but it's just not worth spending an entire attack for. What makes Cleavor so
Oui, bah, c'est
appealing
pas mal,
is
du
the
coup.
fact that Stone Axe sets up the Stealth Rocks while dealing damage. But Stone Axe is also the problem. You might think that the issue is that it's a relatively weak move,
Ah,
coming
mais c'est
in
un
at
peu...
only 65
c'est un peu
base
miss.
power. But remember, Cleavor has the ability Sharpness, making Stone Axe a perfectly respectable attack. The true issue is that, for some reason I cannot fathom, Stone Axe has only 90% accuracy. This might not sound like a huge deal, but remember, Cleavor isn't so strong that landing a hit is going to pick up a KO most of the time. And it's also not so bulky that it can afford to take hits without doing anything back. 90% accuracy sounds pretty good, but Cleavor just can't afford to miss 1 out of every 10 attacks. And without a reliable rock-type move, competitive players just couldn't justify the rock and bug typing or the awkwardly distributed base stats. And
C'est
poor
vrai, c'est vrai,
Cleavor
c'est
got
vrai.
left in the ancient past of Hisui. A Pokemon from the ancient past of the franchise that's always felt like a disappointment competitively is Blossom. Now, I really
Blossom?
love Blossom's design, so before you type an angry comment, I'm on your side. I think it's an incredibly designed Pokemon. But also, because the design is so great, I think I feel extra let down that it's just such a garbage Pokemon competitively. Now, to be fair,
D'accord. Il n'y a pas
Blossom is from
de
Johto.
papier
And if you
danse ou
look
des
at a
trucs comme
lot
ça?
of the Johto Pokemon, it's pretty clear that they weren't designing with competitive play in mind. But even ignoring the fact that Blossom has stats worse than Magmar, there's another issue. The typing. It's pretty rare for a
Il est full
Pokemon to go
grass.
from a dual type free evolution to a single type evolution, but that's exactly what happened to poor Blossom. From a
C'est vrai que
grass
s'il était
and
poison, ça aurait
type
été pas mal.
bloom to a pure grass type
Poison
dancer.
grasse,
At least
c'est
the
pas mal.
design is cute. You get given a
Among
little
Us,
treat in the
Among Us,
form
les
of
grasses
After
poison.
You, which is a move that forces the target
Ouais,
to move
plein de poison.
immediately after the user. This would, in theory, allow it to pair with strong sun-setting attackers like Torkoal or Groudon, activating Blossom's Chlorophyll ability and allowing its buddy to fire off a super fast eruption or Precipice Blades before the opponent can move. There's only
Damn.
one problem. Okay, there's several problems. There's a bunch of Pokemon that do this better. Also, for whatever reason, Blossom
Ah oui,
is
c'est vrai qu'il y a la nouvelle
slow,
évolution
so even in
de
the sun, it's not necessarily going
la
to be outspeeding
enfin, comment
all
ça s'appelle?
Pokemon you want. Now, I did just
Ouais,
mention
je sais plus comment.
Magmar, and that's actually another category of Pokemon that I want to talk about. Specifically, I want to talk about evolutions that only matter because they happen to make their pre-evolution better. This is only possible because of the Eviolite item, which increases both defensive stats by a whopping 50%, but only works on Pokemon that can still evolve further. Eviolite tends to be pretty decent on these cross-generation evolutions because the starting Pokemon was designed intending to be the final form. Evolutions like Magmortar, Electivire, Honchkrow, Blissey, and Tangrowth see basically zero use in competitive play, because by evolving doing, they lose access to the Eviolite item, and their stats don't increase enough via evolution to actually justify using them. It's worth noting that most of the Pokemon that shine in this category are support-oriented Pokemon, not intending to do damage, but instead to fill a utility role.
Ouais, ça c'est Rondoudou ça. C'est Rondoudou, le meilleur.
The team with redirection, while Murkrow offers speed control in the form of Tailwind. Murkrow's an interesting case because while its stats aren't amazing even with Eviolite, it's still always used instead of Honchkrow because Honchkrow loses access to the incredible ability Prankster when it evolves. Now, funnily enough, Chansey is the exception to this rule. When Chansey has been seen in competitive play, it's normally as this kind of terrible raid boss that is one of the most frustrating Pokemon to go up against. Now, it hasn't been used for a couple of years now, but the way the strategy used to work is that you would pair Chansey with a Pokemon like Shuckle or Carbink, who knew the attack Guard Split. Guard Split averages the defenses of the user and the target. So, if Chansey has 60 defense and Shuckle has 300, they would each end up with 180 defense. Importantly though, this average happens before the Eviolite is applied, so Chansey's 180 defense is actually 207. This is what makes Blissey irrelevant. Even though its base defense is literally double Chansey's, that sounds more impressive than it is. I mean, it's base 5 versus base 10. 5 points higher sounds a lot less impressive than double, whatever. It doesn't really matter because when you factor in the Eviolite, Blissey is actually way less tanky than Chansey, even when you don't factor in Guard Split. Now, this next one isn't exactly a cross-generational evolution. It's also not a cross-generational evolution. I don't really know where to put this one, but basically, I want to talk about Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu was added to the game right after I won the World Championships with regular Raichu. And maybe it's because I just like Raichu, but over the years, I've tried to make it work a couple times, and it has always fallen short. The issue is really that Alolan Raichu is a special attacker, but at the same time, it is tied to Raichu's stats, which just aren't very good. And that means that you have Alolan Raichu, who's this, like, special attacker in theory, but it's actually not that strong. Now, Alolan Raichu does have a signature Z move and a signature ability, plus it's got one of the best shiny forms in the game, in my opinion. But if you want to actually win, Alolan Raichu probably won't help you get there. Okay, as long as I'm bending the criteria a little bit, I want to talk about some Mega Evolutions. Now, technically, this is an evolution that
qui sont les méga genre ça les rend plus nuls.
In the comments, okay? Now, the biggest offender of any of the Mega Evolutions is, in my opinion, Mega Garchomp. You would think that giving one of the single best Pokemon of all time a new form with 100 more stat points would create a monster that could ruin competitive play, but somehow, Game Freak managed to make Mega Garchomp worse than regular Garchomp. For some reason that I truly cannot fathom, they dumped 40 of its new stat points into its special attack stat, which is almost maximally inefficient since it wastes as many points as possible while still not being enough to actually justify using Mega Garchomp as a special attacker. Even worse than the special attack though is the fact that for some reason Mega Garchomp actually gets slower, losing 10 of its speed points. This puts it from 102 base speed before Mega Evolution to 92 after. Now 10 points might not sound like a lot, but back in the day, the general rule for if a Pokemon was fast was if it had more than 100 base speed. Garchomp at 102 is fast. Mega Garchomp at 92, not so much. And there were a lot of good Mega Evolutions sitting exactly at that base 100 mark, including Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Charizard Y. So for Garchomp to go from outspeeding those Pokemon to underspeeding them, not a good look. To add insult to injury, Mega Garchomp's ability is also a downgrade. It gains Sand Force, which does absolutely nothing unless the sand is up. Regular Garchomp has two arguably better abilities in Rough Skin, which does good passive damage, especially against the most popular
C'est genre un Rocky Helmet, mais
Sand Veil, which also only activates in sand, but gives all moves targeting Garchomp a chance to miss, which will normally have a bigger impact than the power boost from Sand Force. Putting everything together and keeping in mind that you need to give up both your item and your Mega Evolution if you want to use Mega Garchomp, it's not a mystery why it never saw any play.
Noopsie, Ella.
Now, okay, I can't figure out if one of my all-time favorite Pokemon actually belongs in this list. That's not true. It certainly doesn't belong on this list, but I want to talk about it anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. What do y'all know about Chimecho? So Chimecho doesn't technically belong on this list because, like, rather than being a Pokemon who had an evolution introduced later on, instead it's a Pokemon who had a pre-evolution introduced in a later generation. And that's Chingling, baby. I think Chingling is probably one of the most forgettable baby Pokemon. I love Chimecho, and I don't have any kind of opinion about Chingling. Maybe people like it. I don't know. If people like it.
Non, je préfère Chimecho quand même.
I love Chimecho's design. I love its silly little face, but I don't love it competitively. Listen, Chimecho isn't even the best non-legendary Psychic-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 3 with Levitate, okay? And that's not even comparing it to some of the monsters that they're letting out of the cages nowadays. My question is, if they were going to introduce a pre-evolution in Generation 4, why not just introduce an evolution instead? Chimecho is so bad that it's one of the only times a Pokemon has received a stat increase between generations. In Sun and Moon, Chimecho received a whopping 30 extra stat points.
30, c'est pas mal 30. Moi je veux bien qu'ils mettent plus 30 à Randoudou en défense. Comme ça devient le meilleur Pokémon du jeu.
But until then, it's staying in the box. There's other Pokemon that fall into this category too, like Sudowoodo getting Bonsly, Jinx getting Smooshum, and Mantine getting Mantike. But truthfully, I only wanted to talk about Chimecho because it's one of my favorites. Sorry. Anyway, there's only one more Pokemon that
non, Chimecho, il est franchement stylé.
One of the most bizarre-looking Pokemon ever made, Probopass. Probopass is a weird Pokemon, but I guess that's probably obvious. I mean, if you've ever seen this thing, you know that it's a weird Pokemon, right? Putting aside the creative design, it's also a weird Pokemon from a competitive lens. Probopass is the evolved form of Nosepass. I'm doing the Pokedex thing. Probopass is the evolved form of Nosepass. People, beat me, Pokeblocks. What do they give Rotom? I don't know. Anyway, Nosepass also has a weird design, but this isn't a design video.
C'est ok, je crois, Nosepass. Mais en 1v1.
Who knows what I'm talking about? Okay, let me talk about Nosepass. Probopass, whatever. Okay, hold on. Nosepass is pretty clearly designed to be like the single-stage garbage Pokemon you find in a cave that you used to be Flannery because you have nothing else, and then you leave it in your box forever, right? And again, that's fine. I don't have an issue with Pokemon being bad. Like, I think it's good for Pokemon to be bad, right? Especially during a playthrough of a game. But the weird thing about Probopass is, as far as I can tell, I think they actually tried to make it good. Let's just look at Probopass's defenses to start, okay? The HP is a little low, but the defenses are so high that they can probably make up for it. These are very good defenses.
Ça, c'est la bonne défense.
Unlike many Rock-type Pokemon, Probopass even has good special defense. The problem is when we look at the other stats. Not one of these stats I would put into the usable category. That being said, there are Pokemon out there that have pretty bad offensive stats and pretty bad speed that are still good in competitive play because they excel at supporting their team, like Amoonguss or Cresselia. And on the one hand, Probopass was given an audition for this role because, unlike Nosepass, who is a pure rock type, Probopass gains the best defensive type in the game in Steel. The problem is, Steel just happens to be one of the worst types to pair with Rock.
Ouais, parce que
Steel and Rock combine for two double weaknesses, to fighting and ground, plus a regular weakness to water. Now, it's not the end of the world, but it's also not great to have a double weakness. But even this could have been forgiven if not for the move pool. Apart from Wide Guard, none of Probopass's moves are all that useful when it comes to supporting the team. Yes, it can Thunder Wave, but it's too slow to really make good use of it.
Thunder Wave, c'est plus aussi fort.
It can set up an Iron defense, but that doesn't help when it's still taking twice as much damage from fighting and ground moves, even after doubling its defense. It gets Helping Hand, which I won't pretend to understand. Are those things hands? Are they supposed to be hands?
Attends, s'il a Iron Defense, s'il avait genre, comment ça s'appelle? Body Press? Body Press? C'est Body Press, en fonction de ta défense, tu fais des dégâts. Genre qu'il a une bonne défense et tout, Body Press, ça peut être pas mal, non?
Because if there's one Pokemon on this list that needs a little help, it might be Probopass. Or actually, the Dunsparce. Game Freak will presumably continue to give older Pokemon new evolutions in upcoming Pokemon games. Only time will tell whether they'll create absolute monstrosities or complete disappointment.
Bon vidéo. C'était une bonne vidéo. Y'a quoi? Tout. Là. Ok. Jeux vidéo. Pas obligé de regarder des Pokémon. Oh, ça c'est stylé. J'aime bien les vidéos de Thunder Heads. C'est un groupe. Et ils sont marrants de ouf. Ah tiens, on va regarder le Hide and Seek. C'est chill.
Hello, and welcome to Skyrim Hide and Seek. If you're new here, we're going to be using a mod called Skyrim Together, which allows us to play Skyrim in multiplayer. And in this, me and 3 of my friends are going to be playing Hide and Seek, where after each of us seek one time, we switch to a different location to hide at and go from there. But just a little side note, the Seeker is going to have a super cool little gadget to help them out whenever they find the hiders. But with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright, well, hello there, Lizard Man Normal. Fucking old man senile Richard, and hit guest Vanheim is here. Yeah, Vanheim.
Ok, let's go.
And I'm gonna kill all of you too. So go ahead and start hiding.
C'est quoi des boîtes qu'ils ont, c'est vrai. Ils ont des AK et tout.
Ah, what the fuck? Damn it, Christian.
Ok. Faut essayer de les trouver.
Here I come.
Oh, hi, Christian.
Sorry.
How you doing, bud? Yeah, I see him.
There he is.
Yeah, he...
Ah, ok, il se transforme pas, c'est juste qu'il se
He's still
planque.
chilling out, and he's still chilling out in Town Square.
Un vrai identity, genre, c'est pas le truc où tu te transformes en objet et tu te balades.
Yeah, it's pretty close. You could probably see me from there.
He looked really hard.
You could actually see me from right where you are if you looked really fucking hard.
Wait, how do you... What?
He's gone. No, he's back. He's on top of the little house. He could probably see me there if he took his time.
Fuck you.
If he used his eyes in this hide and seek game, he can probably find me. Oh, he's on top of that house. I see him now.
No, you see him on top of that house? Yeah.
Yeah, I see him on top of that house with his guns.
Yeah, he was closer earlier.
Which house?
Non, si, il se transforme en PNJ. Donc tu peux te transformer.
I don't have that well of an angle. I just know he's jumping. Oh, look, there he is, back in Town Square over by the fucking blacksmith.
Bye, Christian.
Bye, Christian. Walk around the house. I can't see him from that side. Oh, he's in the forest now, by the docks and the mountain.
Okay.
Bye.
Christian, how about a good old game? Oh, never mind. You're pretty warm. Now you're getting cold.
It is pretty warm here with the volcano.
Yeah, you're getting really cold. Yeah, that's a nice forest with trees that are really ashy. You're getting warmer.
You gotta put on a lot.
You're kind of getting cold.
Il a pas bougé beaucoup là, le mec. Faut qu'il
No, you're
te
getting pretty
cherche.
close. Like, if you stopped right there and you're really close to your surroundings, like, this is the closest you've ever been to me besides the fact you've walked right past me and almost touched me. There you go. See, yeah, that's the general right direction. Maybe a little more to the... No, now you walk past me again.
He found me, I think. Yeah, he found me.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
However, you're still blind and you can't see Richard. I can see Richard.
What?
You killed me because you're a coward and a fraud. You can't find Richard.
Yeah, Christian, come on, just find me. I'm really close to Cole. In fact, I saw you murder my friend.
Find him already. Damn.
Yeah, come on, hurry up and find me already, Christian. I see
He's
you.
right there, Christian.
You're literally touching my ass.
We have like a video to record. Come on, bro. Hurry up and find his ass.
Ah, mais comment il a fait pour rentrer?
I want you to turn around.
Hey, buddy. I'm invulnerable in the smelter. I'm Smelter Man.
Ah oui, tu peux rentrer comme ça. J'aime pas. Non mais il y a des trucs, franchement, dans Skyrim, tu te dis, c'est possible ça? C'est vraiment possible ça? Oh, ça c'est stylé. Vous savez, il y a eu les embrouilles. Je sais pas si vous suivez le basket, mais il y a eu une embrouille entre Trae Young et Patrick Beverley. Et du coup là, ils veulent switch. Ah bah ils vont le dire.
So today we're going to swap their careers to see who will have the better career. In Trae Young's rookie season, he averaged 22 points and 5 assists per game, but he's going to finish second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Anthony Davis. And with Harden going off in his first season on the Rockets, him and Trae Young are going to lead the Rockets to the 7th seed. But Trae Young's rookie season is cut short as in the first round, the Thunder take down the Rockets in just 5 games. But in the offseason, Trae Young's grinding is going to pay off as he's up to an 85 overall. And that works
c'est pas mal,
in season number 2 he averaged
pour 2 saisons.
points per game and 7 assists per game. And he also made the 50-40-90 club. And on top of that, the Rockets go from the 7th seed all the way up to the 2nd seed.
Deuxième.
They have
Ça c'est chaud. Ah, ils ont Dwight Howard. Ils ont Dwight Howard. Ouais. Mais ils ont Dwight Howard. Ils ont Dwight Howard. 32 points.
And game 2 was also close until the fourth quarter. I don't know what it is, but the Rockets are just really clutch. And this time it was Dwight Howard that led the team. Trae Young is nowhere to be found. He had 10 points. I don't know why he's only taking 7 shots. He didn't even shoot bad. And the rest of the series went the same way, with Harden dropping 41 in game 3 and Dwight Howard almost having a 20-20 game in game 4 to move the Rockets on to the finals. And in the finals, of course, they have to play the big three by MVP. And this series has been very anticlimactic so far, but with the Rockets being up 2-0 in the series, the Heat
Ça fait un 2-0 là.
first win here. Trae Young's gonna use the screen from Dwight Howard. They set a second screen for him. It doesn't really get him anywhere, but he finds Caspi for the 3 and he puts the Rockets.
Attends, c'était Caspi qui a fait l'écran. Ouais,
voilà.
C'est LeBron, tu peux rien faire. Oh, elle est pas elle. Ouh, spin. Oh, c'est raté. C'est raté. LeBron qui rate. Ok. Oh, Dwight. Oh là 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 là. Et attends, il va gagner. Ils vont gagner directement le trophée au bout de 2 saisons. Non. Allez. Bah, c'est rien.
Jeremy Lin with 6 seconds to go is going to find an open Trae Young, and he knocks down the dagger. And that's so disrespectful. He took a bow, and he's waving to the crowd. And just like that, the Rockets are going to go up 3-0 in the finals.
3-0.
He didn't put up a fight, as the Rockets are going to sweep them, and Trae Young's going to win his first championship.
3-0. Non, ça c'est pas possible.
Going to walk away with the finals MVP. And this big
Je pense pas que ça serait passé comme ça dans la vraie vie.
And in season number 3, Trae Young's up to 23 points and 9 assists per game. And for the first time in his career, the Rockets are the 1 seed. In the first round, they have to go up against DeMarcus Cousins and the Kings. They're going to sweep them. And in the second round, they have to face the Warriors. And the Rockets are going to make it out in 6 to move on to the conference finals. But in the conference finals, they have to play the same Clippers team they beat last season. And the Rockets are pretty easily going to make it back to the finals, where they have to face the Cavs now. So for the second year in a row, Trae Young gets to go up against LeBron in the finals. Game 1 was pretty low scoring, but the Rockets are going to win. And James Harden and Dwight Howard both dropped 30. LeBron somehow only had 18. But in game 2, the Rockets are up by 3 with just 2 minutes to go. It looks like Trae Young's going to use the screen from Dwight Howard. He can't seem to get past Kyrie, but he somehow gets open, and he knocks down the 3. Kyrie on the ISO trying to get past Trae, makes his way into the paint. He's going to force up the layup, and it's good. James Harden on the ISO with a chance to put the Rockets up by 6. He gets into the paint, and he throws down the dunk. So now it's not looking good for the Cavs here. Kyrie had an open layup. I don't know why he passed out of that, but he doesn't pass out of an open 3, and he knocks it down. It's still anyone's game here. I don't know why Harden's not passing the ball. What is he doing? He's just sitting in the post. Dwight Howard's gonna set him a screen. It works. Harden gets open. He doesn't shoot the ball. He gets another dunk. It looked like he was cooking up a whole lot of nothing. It somehow worked. Now we have Kyrie attacking. He finds Morris Senior the 3.
Oh là 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 là. James Harden, franchement, aux Rockets, comment il était trop fort, mais c'était insane. C'était un monstre des monstres.
And it somehow led to a turnover. Kevin Love's gonna find Kyrie again for an open 3, and he can't knock it down. So now James Harden needs to knock down both of these here. His first free throw is good.
Un monstre.
Up by 4, his second one's good. The Cavs have no timeouts. They're gonna need a big shot. LeBron pulls it over Ariza. It's off, and the Rockets go up 2-0 in the NBA Finals. And for the second year in a row, the Rockets are gonna sweep in the finals to win Trae Young his second championship, and Dwight Howard's gonna win his second Finals MVP. At the start of season 4, Trae Young's up 1 to an 89 overall, but Dwight Howard takes a big drop. And in Trae Young's 4th season, he finally makes an All-NBA team, averaging 26 and 10. And for the second season in a row, the Rockets are the 1 seed. And in the first round, the Rockets are going up against the young Timberwolves team. They're going to beat them in 5. In the second round, they have to go up against the Spurs led by Kawhi. They're going to sweep them. And in the conference finals, they have to play the Warriors again. And the Rockets are going to sweep them to
non mais les Warriors c'est quoi? C'est la meilleure équipe du monde ou quoi? Les Rockets.
but the Rockets won
C'est pas censé arriver, ça.
2 and 3 just to lose games 4, 5, and 6, and we're going to a game 7.
3-3.
And LeBron's gonna come back down 3-0 to win his second championship.
LeBron.
And in season number 5, Trae Young's gonna join the 90 overall club. Right, Westbrook almost averaged 40, and Trae Young's on the All-NBA second team again, this time averaging 28 and 8. And for the first time in a while, the Rockets aren't the 1 seed. In the first round, they have to play the Kings. This team doesn't look good at all. But we somehow have a 2-2 series after 4 games. And in Game 5, the Kings take a 3-2 lead. James Harden, Trae Young, and Eric Gordon were really the only ones to show up. And they got cooked by Tyreek Evans and Buddy Hield. And in Game 6, the Rockets are up 2 and on the verge of forcing a Game 7. Dene's gonna find Harden in the corner.
Il est brésilien, oui, c'est ça, c'est le brésilien, c'est Néné, il était trop fort. Il avait une détente, elle était incroyable. Il y avait aussi Kenneth Farid, monstrueux en détente. Ah, ça rate.
He's going to end up taking the spin layup
over
him, and we have a 1-point game. This isn't looking good, but Harden's going to find Capella on the cut, and we're back to a 3-point game. 1 minute to go, it's still anyone's game here. Tyreek Evans gets an open 3, and he ties the game up. That is a huge shot. Now we need Harden to cook here. He drives past Buddy Hield, he takes the layup,
oh, le monstre.
40 seconds to go, Tyreek Evans is going to get a turnover. And now on the break, James Harden's trying to get past Willie Cauley-Stein. The ISO, the step back mid-range. I don't know why he shot that. So now the Kings could win it with a 3 or tie it up with a 2 here. If you made it this far into the video, 98% of people who watch me aren't subscribed, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're not one of them. Buddy Hield with 10 seconds to go finds Tyreek Evans. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Tyreek Evans gets a 3. He's gonna miss it. And now the Kings have to foul, so we have Trae at the line.
Oh la Trae Young.
Force a game 7. He's gonna miss the second one. So now with 2 points.
Non, ils vont pas marquer.
They go into and we're going to a game 7. And the Rockets need to lock in because with 2 minutes to go in game 7, they're down by 2. James Harden's gonna attack Ty Lawson and pull the 3.
Oh, ils ont pas le droit de perdre contre les Kings, wesh.
And he gives the Kings a 4-point lead. 1.5 minutes to go. James Harden gets a 3 from the screen, and it almost goes in.
Non mais bro, James Harden, il ruine.
On the break, they're gonna go to Ty Lawson, and he puts the Kings up by 6. The Rockets have had an absolutely terrible start here, but James Harden gets easily, and he's gonna smoke the.
Il a raté 3 actions d'affilée.
He takes the contested jumper, and it's just barely gonna miss. So the Rockets are gonna need something big here, and Trae Young finds Harden on the cut. So with 40 seconds to go, the Rockets doesn't work out for them. They're gonna need something big here if they want to make it out of the first round. Harden the layup.
Oh, il a pas fait.
That would have been huge. Now he needs to knock both of these down. His first free throw's good, and to make it a 4-point game, his second one's good. And the Rockets are gonna foul right away, so they need some missed free throws here. Darren Collison's first one's gonna miss, and his second one's good. 30 seconds to go for the Rockets.
Faut qu'il mette un 3,
Trae Young's in a drive. He passes out to Ariza for the 3.
Oh.
So after a fourth quarter meltdown, the Rockets are going to get eliminated in the first round.
Non,
c'est
pas
possible. That would be
possible.
Trae Young's last game in a Rockets uniform as he's moving to LA. This team doesn't look that good, especially after losing Chris Paul to the Rockets and Blake Griffin to the Pistons. A healthy Boogie's going to win the MVP. And in his first year with his new team, Trae Young's on the All-NBA third team, averaging 27 and 9. But unfortunately for the Clippers, they're the 7th seed, even though they had 50 wins. And they're actually putting up a fight. The Spurs were just up 3-1. And Game 7's coming down to the wire with Trae Young at the free throw line. He's going to miss his first free throw. That leaves the door open, but his second free throw's good. But now the Clippers basically have a full shot clock to get a 3 off here. Kawhi on the drive, trying to get past Tobias. He gets into the paint, and his layup is good. And the Spurs had to foul again. Let's hope Trae Young doesn't miss again. His first free throw's good, and to put the Clippers up 3, his second one's good. And this time the Spurs have no timeouts. They go to Kawhi for the 3, and he ties it up with 6 seconds to go. 4 seconds to go. Trae Young bringing up the ball. I don't know why he's taking his time. He has to go the half.
Je me suis dit, attends, il va pas le mettre ici. Parce que sur Touquet, c'est chaud de mettre quand même du logo. Maintenant, plus trop. Mais avant c'était chaud. Oh là là, la Marcus Aldridge. Oh maman, le spin. Ok, 3 points. Depuis quand? Oh. Non, c'est raté. C'est raté.
And of course, Kawhi dropped 49 on them.
49.
40 and 10, but that missed free throw cost them the game, and that was his only missed free throw. But entering the 2018 offseason, Trae Young has some competition. As with the 5th pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks are going to select Patrick Beverley and trade him to the Atlanta Hawks. And in Pat Bev's rookie season, he's on the all-rookie second team. He averaged 13 points per game. That field goal percentage is atrocious, though. And Trae Young's on the all-NBA first team, averaging a career-high 32 and 10. But unfortunately, the Clippers don't make the playoffs to the 10th seed with 38 wins, and the Hawks finish with the worst record of all time. But in year number 2, Patrick Beverley gets a lot better as he's up to a 78. And the Clippers also get a lot better, adding Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. In year number 2, Patrick Beverley averaged 14 points a game, and his efficiency is getting a lot better. And Trae Young didn't make an All-NBA team for the first time in a while, averaging 21 and 9. But that makes sense with Paul George, who averaged 23, and Kawhi, who averaged 24 on his team. And the Big Three is going to lead the Clippers to 61 wins and the 1 seed. In the first round, they have to go up against Dame, CJ, and Melo. They were just down 3-2. They're going to force a game 7. And thank goodness they're not going to fold. That
Ok,
series was
attends,
way
c'est
closer than it should have
quand même
been.
Kawhi,
Good
Paul
thing
George. Attends, non,
everyone in the
c'était
Big Three
Paul
played
George et
good.
tout.
On to the second round, they have to play the
Paul
Spurs.
George,
This
Kawhi,
team doesn't look
Ivica
like
Zubac,
anything crazy,
Trae
and the
Young.
Clippers are gonna sweep. But in
Normalement,
the
ça gagne.
conference finals, they have to play the Nuggets, who not only
Oh ouais,
won the
mais là,
championship last season,
là,
but
là,
they
il
have
joue
Jokic, who
Jokic.
won back-to-back MVPs.
Ils ont
The 4
Jokic.
games were all tied up at 2, and in game
C'est le
5,
problème.
it's all Clippers. They're gonna take a 3-2 lead. Kawhi Leonard and Reggie Jackson, of all people, showed up. Trae Young and Paul George didn't shoot bad, they just didn't shoot a lot. And in game 6, the Clippers are potentially 2 minutes away from moving on to the finals. Trae Young's gonna get an open
Non,
three,
Trae Young,
I
Trae
don't know why
Young.
we have Reggie Jackson guarding Jokic, but he finds MPJ
Ok.
and his 3 is off. Trae Young's gonna wait for the screen from Marcus Morris. He can't get an
Marcus
open
pour
look
Marcus,
off
pour
of it.
Marcus.
And now they have Paul George in the corner. He's in a
Bah,
post
vas-y,
and
Paul
he's
George.
barely gonna miss. 1 minute to go. I don't think anybody scored yet. Jamal Murray's gonna
Non,
throw
c'est
it down
fini,
low to
c'est fini.
Jokic.
Ah, il a
Jokic
sauté,
gets
il a sauté.
jumping, but
Ok.
he's not gonna shoot it.
Écran,
Now we have
écran, c'est
Jamal
pas, c'est
Murray
pas,
using
c'est
the
pas,
screen.
c'est
He
3.
gets an open
Non,
3, and he's
non,
gonna
non,
miss
non, non,
it.
non, 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 non.
Trae Young, the ISO on
Allez, c'est qu'un
Jamal
point, c'est qu'un
Murray.
point, c'est
He's
qu'un
gonna
point.
try to drive. He gets stopped, but he's gonna
C'est
take the
raté.
layup anyway, and he gets blocked. That was a huge block from Mason Plumlee. Now they're gonna go to Jamal Murray on the drive. He passes to MPJ for the 3. It's
C'est raté.
off.
Il a le rebond.
Jokic is gonna get a
Jokic,
putback, and he makes
Jokic,
it. It took
Jokic,
almost
3 points.
2 minutes for
Attends,
someone to
attends,
score. Let's
plus
see
qu'un
if
point.
the Clippers can
Ok,
score back,
ok.
and Trae knocks down the
Triangle,
three.
triangle, le
Jamal
monstre.
Murray's gonna chew out the clock. 7 seconds to go. He finds Jokic, and to keep the
Nah.
playoffs alive, his layup's good.
Allez,
So
allez,
the
4
Clippers have
secondes,
no
4 secondes.
timeouts. Trae Young's gonna have to
Triangle.
settle for a half-court
Logo.
jumper, and we're going to a
Le
game
logo,
7.
Trae Young.
Trae Young shot
Logo,
4
Trae
for
Young.
15. You gotta do better than that. And in game 7, the Nuggets are coming back late in the 4th. The Clippers are up 3 with a minute to go. Paul George is gonna use the screen from Zubac. He throws it to Kawhi. Back to Zubac. The layup over Jokic, and the Clippers go up 5. The Nuggets don't have much time to make something happen here, and Jokic is gonna dunk on Zubac. The Clippers just need to keep scoring. Trae Young's gonna pull the 3, and he knocks it down. I did not expect him to pull it from that deep. Now we have Jamal Murray looking for Jokic. He finds him in the post, and he's gonna throw a turnover. And just like that, the Clippers are moving on to the NBA Finals. And Trae Young redeemed himself, dropping 30 and 8 on good shooting efficiency. And now in the finals, they have to go up against the Raptors. I don't know how they made it without Kawhi. And with the series being tied up at 1, the Clippers have a terrible 4th quarter. The Raptors go up 2-1. Trae Young put up 38, but he got cooked by Lowry. But in game 4, we have the opposite outcome as the Clippers blow out the Raptors. So now we get to go to an important game 5. And the Clippers played amazing in the second quarter. They blow out the Raptors
124-99.
again. Everyone in the Big Three played good. We just need that for one more game. And in game 6, the Clippers started coming back super late. They're gonna need a missed free throw here. Lowry, let's please at least miss
Lowry,
one of these. His first one's gonna miss.
oh my god.
That is huge. Imagine he misses both of these, and his second free throw's gonna bounce in.
Il leur faut un 3, il leur faut un 3. Allez,
I
Trae
feel
Young.
like he fouled out, but we have Trae Young and Paul George to lead us. Trae Young can't seem to get into the paint on Lowry. Lewell's gonna wait for the screen from Zubac.
Williams.
He pulls the 3 over Norman.
No,
I don't know
Williams.
why that was the shot. It looks like we might be going to a game 7 here. Unless Siakam misses his second free throw, and he makes it. The Clippers have 8 seconds to go. Paul George is gonna get a corner 3.
Paul George, Paul George, Paul George.
And they lost because
Réussi, tu peux pas réussir.
Trae Young's doing good on offense, but his defense is not doing us any justice. And in Game 7, the Clippers blow out the Raptors to give the franchise their first
Sauce.
championship. So
Ah oui, là, c'est un
Trae Young's
blowout.
now a three-time NBA champion, and Kawhi
Damn.
Leonard's gonna walk away with the Finals MVP. And in Patrick Beverley's third season, he's gonna average 12 points per game. Meanwhile, Trae Young's gonna average 24 points and 8 assists per game. But luckily for both of them, both of their teams are the 2 seeds. The Hawks actually have a good team now. And in the Finals, we have the Clippers going up against the Hawks. I don't know how the Hawks made it here. I thought the Nets were gonna make the Finals, but they were the 8th
Patrick
seed.
Beverley, il est...
Game 1,
Oh,
both
il est
of these
titulaire.
teams are putting up stinkers in the 4th, but the Hawks run away with it. And that's
Ah
because
ouais.
Trae Young didn't show up. He only put up 13. He almost got outscored by Pat Bev. And in Game 2, we have a pretty similar outcome with the Hawks going up 2-0.
Non mais bro, les
Trae
Hawks...
Young, bro, 13 points is not enough. Pat Bev put up 11, and he's 2 wins away from winning his first championship. And I guess none of the home teams want to win. The Clippers are going to win their first game of the series. Kawhi carried the team. Paul George and Trae Young didn't even have 20. And Pat Bev is nowhere to be found. He only put up 6 points. And in Game 4, the Hawks have it in the bag.
No,
They take
bro.
a 3-1 lead. That's crazy. Reggie Jackson outplayed everyone in the Big 3. And now Pat Bev is 1 win away from winning his first ring. But in Game 5, the Clippers are putting... Okay, I was going to say they're putting up a fight, but Paul George gets a turnover. So now with 2 minutes to go, the Hawks have a chance to tie the game up here.
DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter does a useless spin. I don't know what he's trying to cook up on Kawhi here. He just refuses to pass the ball. Clint Capella sets a
Okay,
good
sortez.
screen, but DeAndre Hunter
Nice,
can't
nice,
hit
nice,
the
nice.
shot. Reggie
Reggie
Jackson,
Jackson.
Paul George, the pump fake, the
Ok.
drive.
Ivica, le...
Who gets Clint Capella
Ouh,
jumping.
la feinte.
Pat Bev doesn't want to touch the ball. He's going to swing it to DeAndre
Oh,
Hunter.
c'est pas faute, ça.
These free throws are super important
Ok,
here. He's
DeAndre
gonna knock
Hunter.
down the first one and to make it a 3-point game, his second one's good. Now we have Paul George going
Paul
at
George.
Bogey, the snatchback. He could have had an open mid-range.
Ouais.
And now they have Marcus Morris handling the ball. He finds Reggie
Ivica,
Jackson.
écran,
Comes and
Reggie
sets the
Jackson.
screen.
Oh, il aurait dû
Reggie
repasser
Jackson's
direct.
gonna take the mid-range
Il aurait
and
dû
he
repasser
misses
direct à
it.
Ivica.
The door is still open for the Hawks here, and they find John Collins for the wide open dunk. Let's see if the Clippers can actually score here. Paul George is going to use the screen, the snapback,
Oui,
the
Paul George.
drive, and the mid-range.
Let's go,
He makes it a
le
3-point
mid-range.
game. So now the Hawks need to score here with 20 seconds to go.
S'il met pas
DeAndre
3.
Hunter's gonna find Clint
Ok.
Capella on the cut. He
Ok.
gets Zubac's jumping, but he doesn't go up.
Non.
I don't know what he's doing. I think
Punaise.
they're looking for a 3. They're going to get one.
Ok,
but they're
let's
gonna miss
go.
it. And the Clippers are going to force a game 6. And in game 6, the Hawks are going to win at home, and Patrick Beverley's an NBA champion. And
What the
Bogdanovich is
fuck?
going to walk away with the Finals MVP. He was cooking. He averaged 25 in the series. And
What?
after 4 seasons with the Clippers, Trae Young's going to join the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trae Young averaged 21 points and 9 assists per game, and Patrick Beverley's all the way down to 9 points per game. But on the bright side, the Timberwolves are the 2 seed, and the
Eh ben.
Hawks are the 1 seed. In the first round, the Timberwolves have to face the Suns, and the Hawks have to face the Sixers with Harden and Embiid. The Timberwolves are going to sweep while the Hawks are having trouble. They were just down 3-0, and unfortunately, they're going to get beat by an 8 seed. In the second round, the Timberwolves have to face the Warriors. They're going to sweep again, and now they have to go up against an 8 seed who just had 2 sweeps in a row. They lost the first play-in game, but they've won every other game. This feels like a crazy team to sweep their way to the conference finals, and it looks like the Kings' run is finally over. The Timberwolves are going to sweep them. So now in the finals, they're going up against the Celtics, and this 8 seed almost made the finals. And this Celtics team is going to be tough to beat. Game 1's not close at all. The Celtics are going to win. And I don't know what it is with Trae Young, but he's not showing up in these big moments. And game 2's a lot closer with the Celtics being up by 1 with 2 minutes to go. I don't know what Davis is cooking, but he's gonna break it.
Il s'est fait casser les cheveux.
Let's see if Anthony Edwards can get back on him. He's gonna drive. He gets an easy
c'est beau, c'est beau,
spin
c'est
to
beau,
the
c'est
paint,
beau,
and
c'est
we're
beau, c'est
back
beau.
to a 1-point game. Jaylen Brown on the drive, gets past Jaden McDaniels and throws down the dunk. Anthony Edwards on the ISO again, drives past Davis, the hop step and the
Ok.
layup. Everybody's
Anthony
just
Edwards,
scoring. We just need the Timberwolves to get
incroyable.
one stop here. Oh my gosh, Jaylen Brown just broke Jaden McDaniels' ankles. Now we have Robert Williams coming to set the screen.
Derek White.
White's gonna pull the deep 3 and it's in and out. On
So
the break, we have Jaden McDaniels. Let's see if he can get past Jaylen Brown. He can't. He throws it to Cat though. The layup.
Oy,
It's not
oy,
blocked,
oy,
but it's
oy,
gonna
oy.
miss. Everybody was just scoring. Now everybody's missing. Now we have Grant Williams swinging it out to Derek White, the mid-range.
Nice.
And Nas Reed gets the board. Trae Young's gonna find Jaden McDaniels on the break. He drives on Jaylen Brown, the layup.
Il l'a,
and he
il l'a,
puts the
il l'a.
Timberwolves up.
Il a eu le push, il a eu le push. Là, là, il marque, Derek White, il est plus grand. Non?
Trae Young almost gets the steal, and Derek White is trying to get into
Ok,
the paint.
le
Trae
steal.
Young does get the steal now.
Anthony Edwards, t'aurais dû lancer direct.
Both of these free throws, the first one's gonna miss though, and now Tatum's back in the game, and Trae Young's second free throw's good. I don't like this. The Celtics can tie it up with a 2 or take the lead with the 3 here, and Derek White's 3's off. Anthony Edwards is gonna make both of his free throws. The Celtics are down 4. They go to Tatum. The 3 over Jaden McDaniels. It's off, and the Timberwolves are gonna tie the series up at 1. Anthony Edwards cooked with 36. Trae Young had a double double-double, but he keeps shooting terrible from the field. And in Game 3, we have another close one with the Celtics being up 3 with 2 minutes to go. Jaylen Brown on the drive.
What? Ça passe ça?
Trae Young needs to cook up here. He drives past Marcus Smart. He's gonna find
Edwards.
and his threes off. Marcus Smart's gonna throw it to Jaylen Brown on the drive. He kicks it to Derek White, the open corner three, and he can't make it. I don't know what the Timberwolves are doing here. Trae Young almost gets a good look. He's gonna swing it to Vanderbilt. Why did he shoot that over Horford? That was a terrible shot, and now on the break, Derek White's gonna get fouled. And he knocked down both free throws, which was enough to put the Celtics up 2-1 in the series. But in Game 4, the Timberwolves are gonna blow out the Celtics to tie the series back up. And finally, everyone in the Big Three played good. And in Game 5, the Timberwolves folded. The Celtics are gonna go up 3-2. And this time it was Anthony Edwards that didn't show up. And this series is so back and forth, the Timberwolves are gonna force a Game 7. Trae Young wasn't even in the top 5 scorers. He only put up 12. He had 15 assists though.
Aïe 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 aïe. Bon, c'est quand même, ça se voit que Trae Young est quand même au-dessus que Patrick Beverley. Après Patrick Beverley, bon, Patrick Beverley, c'est stylé. Patrick Beverley, c'est un bon défenseur quoi, mais c'est pas extraordinaire quoi. Boum boum boum. Boum boum boum. Oh, Lauri Markkanen aux Spurs. Je sais pas si c'est possible, mais ça pourrait être stylé, Markkanen aux Spurs. Ça, j'ai déjà vu. C'est incroyable. Je sais pas si vous l'avez déjà vu. On va le mettre. Oh.
So let's get started. Okay, before we make our player, we have these random boxes here. Under these 10 boxes are...
C'est incroyable. Moi, c'est ce que je fais, moi. Moi, ça, c'est mon type de joueur. C'est full défense, full rebond et tout ça. Mon joueur préféré de basket, c'est Dennis Rodman. Donc, c'est pour ça. Je joue souvent comme Dennis Rodman. So we want to be a defensive guy. All right, call me Steve. My name is Daryl. Daryl Tucker can be my name. We gotta make ourselves as heavy as possible, pretty much, because we want to be an absolute god when it comes to protecting the rim. Bro, I didn't know you could make a 99 overall build and not upgrade anything offensively. I have 25 everything on offense. And with us needing a team, we took our talents to the Boston Celtics. We have a wheel of my career games. I spit it. This is how many games I have to manually play for each season. So I'm in my first season right now. Let's spin the wheel. How many games do I gotta manually play? Alright, so we have to manually play 11 games and we can't change the quarter time, so it's a minimum like 25 to 30 minutes per game. 185 overall with the max defense time we played game and a 99 block. So we're gonna get these badges quick. With my career about to get started, we had our look down. Daryl is looking like a defensive demon, baby.
There goes the MP, the most hyped prospect since LeBron James.
With the hype on us, we were ready for our debut.
Il est au Celtics. Il a choisi les Celtics.
I don't want to score at all, nor am I gonna, so we're just gonna use Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's why we went on to the Celtics. To also win championships too. To get those, we need a lot of blocks. Come here. Come here, baby! First block of my career, come on! Give me the block, give me the block, give me the block. Give me the block!
Oh là là là. Celui-là il était beau, le chase là.
We had a great first game. First ever game, first debut, 8-point win. And every block would be key because we'd be on a quest to become the best defensive player ever. But more on that later. We got 875 goal points. Don't know how far up we'll get into.
Mais il fait trop d'assists. Moi je fais pas d'assists. Genre vraiment juste, je fais des passes, je fais des écrans. J'attends. S'il marque c'est bien, s'il marque pas, c'est pas grave. Et genre juste je défends. C'est ça mon style de jeu. Il est parti loin celui-là. Attends, il y avait Tyrese Haliburton? So even in the simulated games, I'm taking no shots. Damn, we're going off because one of my goals was to win an MVP, and we might do that in our rookie season.
Okay, now I would love to sim to the All-Star game, but it just makes up key games as you go. Play more key games. We had our first chance at a trophy. All right, let's go down low. We're just gonna feed AD, man. Hey, I'm playing with gods all around now. Like literally, just give it to LeBron down low. He's finishing that. Watch, he's gonna shoot. He's gonna finish that. It's every time. It's gonna go in. We start off strong, getting blocked. Give me that.
Oh là 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 là.
I'm doing everything.
Attends, c'était sur Zion?
The second half, we couldn't be stopped.
Oui, bah. Avec Yanis, c'est un peu sûr. Oui, bah oui, Yanis.
Good enough for me to win Finals MVP. All-Star MVP, not Finals. Well, I did win it. Let's go, baby. I thought there was gonna be like some big presentation. I will take it. I don't think I got any points, go points for winning All-Star Game MVP. I thought for sure, for some reason, that would give me some, but I guess not. Okay, well, actually, let me sim to the playoffs now. It's simming. Okay, we won 72 and we win the MVP.
Attends, que 16 assists, 4 blocs, tir bon. Ok, ça peut passer, mais c'est quand même pas beaucoup. Genre que 9 rebonds, moi je crois que sur mon... Comment ça s'appelle, sur ma carrière, j'étais à 22 rebonds de moyenne, un truc comme ça. Et du coup c'est pour ça.
Would have hurt a lot. I'm trying to put the most defensive player of the years ever. How did he win that over me? With us being robbed of an award, we used this as motivation, swept the Bucks in the first round. I got 7 blocks in the simulation. That is crap. We keep up this momentum, sweeping the Cavaliers. I thought the Cavs would get one game because 2K always loves the Cavs. However, we had our sights set on the finals as we beat the Heat in 5. We're playing John Morant in the finals. Wow. Our chance at a ring was versus the young Grizzlies with John Morant. We have a tough 2-1 lead. Right? Whether or not in the closeout game, we're 100% playing the closeout game. Okay, yeah. 24-7 and 16. No. Thank God we entered a key game opportunity because I wanted to play that. I pressed simulate by accident there. Let's go.
Ok. Il est fort.
Tatum's got to be injured. And why isn't Kristaps Porzingis playing? What is going on?
He did it. He set a new NBA record for assists in a...
Say, most NBA record for assists in a season. Give me that block.
Non, il est beau celui-là.
Give it a KP. Just give it a KP, baby. He's too big.
C'est broken.
Game just like that. The next play, we ended up getting fouled, sending us to the free throw line. I'm not gonna make anyways. I'm a 25 free throw, but I can't even attempt to make it. With us needing points, my teammates were stepping up. Place like that, bro.
Okay.
Place like that. He actually finishes everything. We're averaging 139 points per game in the playoffs, bro. That's gotta be some type of record. We were locked in and about to drop 20 assists in the finals. Finish.
Oh, c'est raté ça.
That is it. That is it, baby.
Est-ce qu'il a le MVP? Est-ce qu'il a le final MVP?
Derek White, thank God he shaved his head. Hey, baby.
Il a le final MVP.
Hey, frame that. And the finals MVP. Was there no speech? I'm so confused. I thought 2K would give a speech. The dream of winning my first title came true with many more trophies to come. Hey, in the conversation, interesting trophy to get, man. Reached tier 5 on the coolest. We moved up, man. Let's go. I'm talking one championship, bro. I'm talking so much off one. Hey, we got some championship stuff actually too. Wait, can I rock? Hey, baby, let's put on our first ring, man. Come on. Assist. Okay, assist in a game. We're close to breaking that. I know once we break that, we should get a lot of go points. All right, go tier. We move out to 27 on Logan Bradley's list, aka
27, il a monté hyper vite, hein, par contre.
And John Stockton too. I don't see any off-season changes in Boston, so I think we're good. We have free agency. Technically, I could move teams. I think my best shot at winning a championship is with the Celtics again, though. Our new season was right around the corner. We got a special message from Mark Cuban.
MP is a beast.
Why is that actually jokes? Okay, now before we hop right into our second season, we got so many games we gotta play. Let's see here. That's 5. We were 1 off.
5, c'est pas mal.
We had to manually play 20 games. I actually don't know what I would do. Stats, okay, my blocks have gone down a little bit, but we're in first place again for most valuable player.
Ah ouais, avec 3 seulement blocs.
Now we gotta pick it up, bro. Let Tatum cook all the way to the rack. Tatum will finish it. Tatum is a
get that defensive player of the year, we never back down. I just want to follow wherever Jason Tatum goes. Jalen Brown's also very OP, but Jason Tatum is just different. We blocked everything. Give me that block.
Là, par contre, c'est abusé.
Somebody go on the
Le
break.
bloc.
Make it Jalen Brown. Make it Jalen Brown on the break. Jalen Brown, throw it down, baby. Thank you. There's 8 blocks, man. Please. Yes, yes, I need one more.
C'est vrai que l'autofocus du contre, il est broken.
Yes, baby, yes, give me that. 10 blocks, 22 assists, 13 rebounds. We got a triple-double with blocks, baby. Update, we're 75-5. We're right beside the playoffs. I don't think the key games are going to come up now, and we're also going to at the same time break the Warriors record for 73-9. Except we're going to win the ring. We're not going to choke at the very end. We went 77-5.
Wow.
I win the MVP.
Encore le MVP.
Two MVPs in a row, my first and second season. The blocks went down though. Defensive player of the year is Anthony Davis.
Mais il a pas assez de rebonds.
Got another MVP.
Il a pas assez de rebonds. Il a pas assez de
Player of the
rebonds.
year was
Il a pas assez de rebonds.
made the first team All NBA again. I don't know how many go points that gives you if you get.
Attends, mais il
make
l'a
it
refait?
first team, but I know we just got some. We're on all defensive first.
Il l'a refait? Celui-là, je l'ai pas vu.
In the world of professional basketball, the Hall of Fame is often reserved for those who score big and rack up impressive stats. But what if there was a player who defied this norm? Meet Lockdown, a player with a unique mission to make the Hall of Fame without ever scoring a single point. Sounds impossible, right? To crack this code, we signed to the best team possible for this, the Dallas Mavericks, home of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. But can a player really make the Hall of Fame with 0 points to their name? Well, that's why I created the plan. To achieve this crazy goal, there's a few things required to make this work. Step number 1, win multiple championships. Getting championships are essential, so we have to make sure to win at all costs. Step number 2, get Luka and Kyrie the ball. This is so we can get good stats aside from scoring, because we won't be doing that. Step number 3, earn Defensive Player of the Year. Excellence on the defensive end is crucial. With that said, I started my journey making the most defensive-minded player. A 7'3" powerhouse, upgrade to 85 overall. And as my first season began, I had to make the most out of my limited minutes. So we hopped right to our first game and got him with a minute left, setting up an open 3. Good screen from me. Come on, let's
Nice.
play. And on the other end, we'd be protecting the paint. Give me that block. Give me that block. That's what we're here to do. Give it down low to Luka. Put it up, Luka. Put it in, Luka. As the game continued, we keep setting screens and blocked everything at the rim, making for an impressive debut. Can you miss? Another one? Yes. We have
Nice.
11 rebounds sent off the game. My first ever game. Now keep in mind the badges, as we will get to those later. But for now, we'd hop into our next game. Dominating with assists and defense.
Celui-là, je l'avais pas vu. Hein. L'autre, je l'avais déjà vu.
After my first couple of games, we had great averages to go along with 0 points. Now at this point in the season, we made it to the NBA Cup Finals. If we could win this, we could start racking up what really matters. Go points. More on that in a second. Lonzo Ball's in the game. Don't care. I literally don't care. And in the paint, we weren't allowing anything. Yeah, look at that defense. I paint protector. Probably on silver by now. You're not scoring my paint. I'm feeding down low to Luka Doncic.
Nice.
But with me staying in the paint, they got an open look. No, not Smith again for 3. Are you kidding me? How is this?
C'est pour ça que moi j'aime bien faire des... Pour vraiment faire des bons défenseurs, en fait je fais Dennis Rodman. Je fais juste Dennis. Je fais juste Dennis Rodman, genre 2 mètres 1, avec genre un peu de vitesse et tout. Parce que si t'es trop lent, tu peux rien faire.
Make the Hall of Fame? Well, they broke it down to 2 simple steps. So I have to become the GOAT and build the greatest dynasty of all time. The formula was simple. The more championships, achievements, and trophies you win, the higher you rise. Win equals good, lose equals bad. So you can see why rule number 1 is the most important. We move on to All-Star Weekend and dominate the competition in the Rising Stars game, managing to win and secure the MVP, getting us more GOAT points. But you could see with how little they gave you that our focus now would be on awards in the postseason as we upgrade to 89 overall, and by season's end, Lockdown and the Mavericks finished with an outstanding 72-10 record. We just won 72-10. We tied the Bulls record.
First public appearance since being named NBA Rookie of the Year.
Hey, we got
Il y a le Rookie of the Year. Punaise. C'est vrai que ça va être compliqué là, vu que maintenant il y a Victor Wembanyama. Il va falloir qu'il ait plus de 15 rebonds. C'est le seul truc qui peut le faire passer devant, je pense. Ok. Pouah, il met ça.
Locking down Rudy Gobert and the Minnesota Timberwolves would see us winning the MVP. But more importantly, we would now move on to the finals where we would face Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton. Miles Turner, ça va être chaud. Ça va être un de ses coups, pas de ses coups de cœur, mais si, un peu. Genre, un pivot qui shoot, il y en a pas mal maintenant. Ça qui est chiant. C'est pour ça que j'aime bien les rapides, parce que du coup, tu peux quand même aller à 3 points. Et du coup, tu défends le 3 points. Et du coup, tu cours dès que le mec il a shooté, dès que t'as bien défendu. Tu peux courir pour prendre le rebond.
MVP was within reach, so we had to make it clear he wasn't getting the ball in the final game, which you know means we were giving it to Kyrie. Give me that ball. Yes, sir! Giving the assist to Kyrie. Look at the offensive rebound, actually. Watch this. Now sauce up again. Run it back. Kyrie Irving.
Oh là là.
30, 33. What? If Kyrie makes that, that's right. Kyrie, if you make
non.
that, Kyrie.
Oh, finesse. Eh, vu la musique, je me suis dit, attends, il va pas vraiment la mettre.
And 7 blocks. One final play in the game, I had the chance to hit 30. 30 assists! I didn't break my record, but that's 30 assists in the closeout game of the finals. Come on, baby!
Il est bon, il est bon, il est bon, il est bon.
After an insane battle, we secured our first championship. But did I win finals MVP? Presentation, I guess, but we won, obviously, the championship. Yes,
oh, il l'a.
Baby, yes!
Il l'a quand même. The offseason into full force, it brought big news. The Mavericks re-signed Kyrie Irving, thank goodness, and LeBron James retired. Also thank goodness. With my sights set on more, I continued to elevate my game. By mid-season, I was averaging 16.9 rebounds, 20.2 assists, and 17 rebonds. C'est bien, mais pour avoir des défenseurs de l'année, faut un peu plus.
Puts it in, gives us the lead, but Shea was coming right back at us. Give me that! I do have a mismatch on my we don't score, so it doesn't matter. Quentin Grimes for the dag.
Oh là 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 là.
Unexpected hero. And after this performance, we would be an inch off our first Hall of Fame badge, while also upgrading to a 92 overall. 73-74 wins. We beat the all-time record in what goes 77-5. That's the record beaten.
Is out courtesy of Shams. MP is your new regular season MVP.
What?
Oh, tell you guys, an MVP. Come on!
The best player in the NBA.
On 0 points per game, 15 rebounds sharp, 18.3, 2.5 blocks, and defensive player of the year. Again, it's gonna go to Victor.
Là, par contre,
once again, Victor stood in the way, snatching it from him.
là, normalement, il aurait pu l'avoir. Ah, mais il a 0 style. Il a 0 style. Pour ça. En termes de stock, donc style et bloc, il est meilleur leader. Ouais, ça c'est sad.
Taking a hard-fought win, but it wasn't enough to derail us. Soon enough, we found ourselves in a familiar battle. The conference finals against Rudy Gobert. A rematch of the Twin Towers, but this time the result was even more decisive. Another sweep. And then came the final.
Cleveland.
Cleveland Cavaliers stood between us and history. They knew what was at stake, a quest for back-to-back championships. Getting right to the fourth game to close out the series, we weren't letting anything pass by. Paint Patrol Hall of
Oh
Fame! Hall of Fame! Give me that! It's another block. With both of us in takeover, it was effortless. Kyrie, give me the boom! Give me that, man! That's a goal moment achieved too. Single game playoff high for blocks. That's 8 blocks.
Ah oui, il l'a dépassé. Avant c'était 7 et du coup, vu qu'il avait battu, c'était 8.
Back to back. Yet, even with another championship in hand and the accolades piling up, something felt unfinished. It was good enough to move us on to the number 8 spot on the Dynasty list and number 22 all time, but the Hall of Fame, not yet. There was still more to prove. As we entered our third
Il faut qu'il ait des défenseurs de l'année, hein, parce que s'il en a pas, ça va être compliqué.
Or stay. Wait, I can choose a different team. But would that mean, like, I would win 3 in a row, but would that count for a 3-peat then if I move teams? But right now, I would like to stay with the Mavericks. So we'd wrap our championship t-shirt and go shorts. As the third season dawned, anticipation was in the air. There was a lot of pressure on a still missing defensive player of the year, as well as the chance to 3-peat. The stakes couldn't have been higher. The season saw us maintain stellar averages, earning another MVP, but not defensive player of the year. It felt impossible when the 7'4" alien from France was taking it every year. The only thing we could do was improve. We upped our game to a 93 overall rating and found ourselves back in the finals, facing the Cavaliers yet again, who were desperate to stop their repeat aspirations. Evan Mobley is not that guy for 3. He's just not that guy for 3. I don't know why they keep shooting. Kyrie, classic sidestep, come on now.
C'est bon.
The max. With us dominating on offense, we were able to get away with anything on defense.
Oh.
Yo, how is that not a foul? Bro. And with another assist, we would break a record. Is that it right there? I think that might be it right there. Most assists in a playoff run, so we did beat it. My math was just off by a little bit. And we get our 3rd championship back to back to back. We reached true dynasty talks now as we repeated and earned another finals MVP award. As we stood on the brink of greatness, there were only 2 goals left. 1, earn defensive player of the year. 2, do what even Michael Jordan could, win 4 straight championships.
Ça c'est possible. Mais gagner un défenseur de l'année avec Wemby, ça va être un peu plus compliqué.
The offseason brought another chance to leave, but my focus was clear. Put in the work during the regular season and lead the team to the playoffs. That season, we earned our first Legend badge, the highest tier in the game. Hey, let's go, dude! We actually got it! Paint Patroller Legend! And dominated with over 70 wins, showcasing both our offensive and defensive production. But this time, the accolades would be different. Bro, like, Luka Doncic or something along those lines. I already know. Never mind!
Et bah, pourtant il a pas de style. Hein.
We finally win Defensive Player of the Year. Another spectacular season propelled us to 4th on the Dynasty list. As for the goal list, we remained 11th, but that would change.
C'est quand même pas mal, hein, en 4 saisons.
Despite facing our toughest postseason yet, where we dropped games in both the first and second rounds, we persevered and made it back to the finals. This time, we faced the Raptors, and with the Defensive Player of the Year finally in our hands, our final challenge was clear: complete the 4th. In Game 5, with a 3-1 lead, the chance to make history was within our grasp. Hold on, and I'm gonna purposely give the ball to Kyrie here because Luka's has some crazy stat lines in the finals, so I'm gonna need Kyrie.
Oh.
Always missing that to go off. Kyrie's about to get takeover, so you know he's cooking the big man too. That's funny. Let's go down. Kelly Oubre. Oh my God, we got the sexiest man on the planet. That's crazy, man. Kyrie, go all the way. Tough.
Oh là 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 là, il est beau.
That's gonna be game.
Il est beau le petit layup.
That's enough to win me the Finals MVP, winning the 4th consecutive championship, a feat even Michael Jordan hadn't achieved. All that was left was the Finals MVP, and with it, the final piece of the puzzle. Yes! Yes! So scared Luka was gonna take that, man. That is gonna move us up a lot on the go tier. And then it hit me. As the celebrations began, I realized there was an option for my Hall of Fame speech. Number 3, man. Number 3, we just passed Kobe. Wait. The You Hall of Fame speech. I just made the Hall of Fame. No, I just made the Hall of Fame. No.
Il a réussi.
0.0 points per game, and that's including simulated games. We never scored in our entire career.
May I present the latest, greatest Naismith Hall of Fame inductee, MP.
Hey.
Let's go! The journey had come full circle, and the legacy was cemented. As if you guys enjoyed this video, you're gonna love this one right
Être au Hall of Fame après 4 saisons.
24 scoring 0 points. I don't know if it's possible, but check it out right here. See if it is, and subscribe if you're new.
C'est beau. Boum. Bon sur ce chat. Par contre, moi, je vais vous laisser là-dessus. Hop. Je vais vous laisser là-dessus. Je vous dis, passez une bonne journée, passez une bonne soirée, passez une bonne matinée, passez tout. Je vous dis à toutes. Bisous, ciao.